All right, highlights are cued. If your watch starts yelling, do not blame us. Blame Jimmy.
Today we're going to get into bio accountability trap. It's about your numbers. Yeah, it's about your numbers on your watch, on your bio, all the stuff tracking you. If you have been hitting the snooze button since January 1st, let's do the counter.
Snooze button is the rent-a-center for excuses. Cheap today ruins you long term.
360 minutes behind the guy who doesn't.
That guy is not disciplined, and he is just terrified of being average, like a normal person.
Guys, that's 6 hours and 9 minutes.
Congrats, you donated 6 hours to your blanket like it is a non-profit.
Jesus Christ.
That's also what my Apple Watch whispers when it sees my week.
I've been sweating a lot at night. And I was like, fuck, I guess I haven't been too. And we're like, oh shit, we haven't been turning on the air conditioner.
So the villain was humidity. Motivational speakers hate this one simple thermostat trick.
What a difference. Oh shit.
I was, I've just been living a lot of, good stress, but good stress. And believe me, nothing that I'm complaining about, but just pressure down, head down, working hard. And just a stupid thing. I got up this morning, looked in the mirror and said, I owe my wife an apology.
That mirror talk is rare. Most men would rather start a podcast than say sorry.
So I said, hey, I'm sorry that I reacted the way that I did last night. I was frustrated. It was complete, like it was my million% ownership. Johnny?
1,000,000% ownership is insane. I cannot even own my own notification.
What it's not worth is the quality of my life in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Elon built it in 120 days.
If he can build a city in 120 days, you can finally cancel that subscription you hate.
He created something that humans were like, you're going to do it. He's like, what do you mean there's no way I can do it? If you can build a small city in 120 days, what we're doing is like making a fucking boiled egg.
Boiled egg is catching bullets today. Breakfast is not safe in this conversation.
Why? What is it about this that makes you think that can't be done?
Don't put any energy on thinking about what we can't do.
Stop daydreaming about failure. Your brain is not a rehearsal studio.
I would rather you put all the energy towards what we are able to do if this happened. Because if it's simply time, then time we can. So if it's simply time, time is finite, but we can put resources against time, right? So it's, again, back to Elon's building a city. I find it quite fascinating. And how humans will naturally fall down to what they know and rarely get challenged to think outside of the box of what they can achieve.
There's just such a massive difference between the thought process of the average man and the man who achieves greatness. That fucker on the couch will use that term like it's some sort of a sin.
Couch guy treats effort like it is a cult. Bro, stand up. The remote will survive.
I kind of think overachiever is an insult when you break it down.
Overachiever is just what lazy people call you when you do not join their group chat.
No, motherfucker. I've made some very definitive choices that has made me who I am. That's not overachieving. That's called deliberate achieving.
Deliberate achieving means you showed up again, and now your friends need a therapist.
I had to overcome some things to get here. That's not overachieving. That's deliberate success. Lindsey Vonn doesn't fucking go down the mountain at 41 and tear her ACL because she was laying on the fucking couch.
She tore an ACL at 41. I get dramatic when my phone charger is across the room.
You think you can do what I do if you use PEDs?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter because I'll buy it for you. You still can't do what I do.
When you choose the elevator over the steps and you're choosing the snooze button over getting out of bed, you're actually choosing comfort. That's your whole life, comfort. You didn't see the guy in the gym for hours and weeks on end. So no, when he gets on stage and wins, or he gets in the ring and wins, it's not because he's lucky, it's because he's an overachiever. Obsessed is the word lazy people use for the dedicated.
They call you obsessed so they can keep being comfortable without admitting it sucks.
If they're talking smack, you're on the right track.
If they are talking smack, it means you are visible, and that terrifies them.
The average man will try to talk you out of the pathway to greatness.
They're just takers. They don't give anything to a relationship. You've had friends like that, or acquaintances where they're around you and all they do is take from the friendship or take from the relationship. But I like it for the other side, which was because she's like, no, I believe in myself. I believe I can do it. I quote unquote deserve to be here.
This could turn into like a full-blown knee dislocation.
Knee dislocation is a phrase that should come with a warning label and a priest.
This is a sports doctor who, basically did a surgery on me, knowing a bicep surgery on me, knowing that I was going to have to be back in the ring in 4 weeks. Then you gotta kind of play out the risk versus reward.
She believed she could do it, period.
Yeah.
When you're going through your toughest times, you think you're going to die, you're probably not. And you know as good as anybody, because you know the body, you know the human body. It's an incredible machine, and it's probably not going to die, even though our brain is telling us that we're going through pain right now.
I need some more painkillers, and I need.
Okay.
He is ordering meds like he is building a Chipotle bowl. Extra everything, no consequences.
Yeah.
I need some muscle relaxers, and you throw in some Viagra's for me too. You know?
He threw Viagra into the cart like it is gum at checkout. Unhinged confidence.
I said, if I can make a recommendation, if you're looking just because your body's sore and if you're trying to find a way to go to sleep, what you might want to consider is instead of the Tylenol, like the fucking drug, like the pill drug.
I say, it's a fucking hard practice. I basically fucking showed up with a fucking bottle of NyQuil.
NyQuil on the counter is adult crime. That is not sleep, that is time travel.
And I put it, walked in, put that on the fucking counter. She goes, she said, what's that for? I said, that's what puts me to sleep at night. I wasn't dosing it. I was just fucking taking the top off and fucking pulling a quarter of the bottle down.
Quarter bottle is not dosing, it is you fast forwarding to the regret montage.
And then it was just a fucking few weeks later, I'm basically fucking threading an IV into myself.
Jesus.
Hanging a fucking IV bag off a curtain rod in my fucking right next to my master bedroom.
If your bedroom has an IV bag, you are not grinding, you are spiraling professional.
People were paid to be a tree.
Paid to be a tree sounds fake, but I still want the job. No meetings, no emails.
People were in that.
Yeah, they were. So I didn't know that until I saw this yesterday. Why don't we make the people the trees? She slept with 400 people unprotected in a world record event.
400 people is not a record. It is a whole HR department crying.
Why is this a surprise?
Well, thank you. Okay, that's fair.
Who's my daddy? Well, I don't know. He could be one of these 400 people.
Which I think I find it quite fascinating actually, because and now the political implications of that, right? Russia's like, hey, you want oil?
Every time someone says, you want oil, a random dude opens a spreadsheet and smiles.
You can't get oil because America's getting in the way. And I find it quite fascinating. And because that's something that we just take for granted.
Well, there's a shortage of something. It creates fucking massive opportunity.
Massive opportunity, yes. Also a parade of dudes selling courses called Freedom Fuel.
And society has taught us that to get the body you have to go get to the gym, which is so misleading. Would you not agree?
Gym myths are hilarious. Your body cares about consistency, not your mirror selfies.
But do these things matter to the body? You count the right things, the body cares. You count the wrong things, the body gives two shits.
Two shits is the most accurate health guideline ever written. Put it on a poster.
I hope this sport doesn't exist.
It's who can fucking, when they hit each other inside that circle, who's fucking keeping their feet is all it comes down to.
You're hanging out with Keith and John this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. So this is what fascinates me, like these wrestling house shows, guys that are trying to get to the big stage, what they put themselves through for a couple $100.
A couple $100 to get wrecked is wild. That is poverty cosplay with injuries.
But there's a little bit of a difference between someone running to the point where their brain runs out of oxygen versus jumping off something that's 25 feet high where you could fucking break your neck and kill yourself.
That is not ambition. That is your brain screaming, please notice me at gravity.
Because it's much easier for him to lay on the couch and eat Cheetos.
Cheetos are not recovery. They are orange fingerprints from the scene of the crime.
And fucking couple times a month jump off 3 fucking stories, hoping that that's going to get him picked up when that will never get him picked up. But in his mind, that's a guy that's purely taking a risk to fucking cover up the fact that this is the only shot he's ever got to make it, is risking his life. But that's what they're good at. That's how they got where they got, was getting out of their comfort zone.
I gotta be honest with you, man. I kind of like that too.
Well, in hockey, it's not like fighting is not a part of what they do.
I thought that was pretty fascinating that the guy decked somebody, he got dropped, and his stock actually went up because of his action that somebody would judge as misappropriate. Yet he's like, nah, fuck, I'm doing.
When you're uncomfortable, you're willing to do the things you wouldn't do when you're comfortable.
Comfort is the cutest liar. It hugs you, then it steals your whole week.
And if you really want to make progress, you're going to realize that the situations where all the juice is, where all the gains are, where all the progress is made, is centered around you being at least a little bit uncomfortable. And if you take this little tool and you understand it and learn to use it, it will change your goddamn life.
That tool is discomfort with a mission. People want results, but they want comfy results.
What is your excuse today? Between Lindsey Vohn's ACL, between Don Mann collapsing, climbing mountains, between Lonnie Bedwell climbing Everest blind, we all actually have no excuse to get up, get after it, and run towards and achieving the biggest goals around. All right, so we're going to get into why your smartwatch is lying to you.
Finally, my watch has been gaslighting me since 2021, acting innocent and judgmental.
I think the balance is how to not make them a distraction and how to point this in the right direction. Well, no, that was just Apple selling a watch. That was Kellogg's selling Raisin Bran, 2 scoops of raisins.
They sell hope in a box, then act shocked when you feel like shit opening it.
It's because you stick to the number when the number is just a fucking direction.
You are worshiping the GPS, then yelling at the car for being lost. Relax.
We as humans need to listen for the signal and not get distracted by the noise.
Signal is sweat. Noise is your watch screaming, stand up while you are holding trauma.
And often the noise is wear your ring, wear your watch, because all these things are going to change your life. Well, the 10,000 steps is not a real number.
10,000 steps is a marketing spell. Walk 3 steps and your watch acts betrayed.
It's a number, but it's not really based in science.
The elite doesn't worry about how many dollars are in his bank account. He doesn't worry about all of these numbers that most people are fixated on. You know, he looks at things from a totally different perspective. You know, counting wealth is different than counting money. Don't fucking worry about the watch. Just get moving.
Move your body first. Your watch can file its little report later.
And I've been really kind of leaning into the gratitude of that. Dude, I was downstairs for a couple times yesterday. I was stretching. I was standing on my balance board. I was working. So I'm thinking, I get to do this. I get to stretch regardless of what my numbers say on my watch. I get to do that.
You got a partner who helped you understand the power of positioning words.
So why do you do that? Because I get to. It's funny, man. I was at Carter's game and somebody asked me a question. You stop somebody in their tracks when you respond that way.
It depends on if he's asking you to put on a light hood.
Oh, dude, get this. I went from 302 pounds to 240 in 6 months.
If he's a weird and racist, probably should keep the words out that he may not understand. What other fucking crazy shit does he say that doesn't come true? Or is he a racist that walks around and, truly displays this in every different direction with race?
Yeah.
That's a fucking cop-out. If you think, the fucking president said something racist.
If John told you to jump off the bridge, Keith, would you? You do have agency of your own choice. People don't like to be asked tough questions. You know that as well as I do. Right? So people don't like to be asked tough questions.
So I've kind of recognized early on that fear is actually my friend. And if I attack it and I use it to my advantage, then I don't really categorize it as this negative thing. I categorize it as this tool that I need to pull off the shelf and put to work.
The fear is looking in my own mirror and regret not doing something extra.
If you are confident that you believe you won't quit, then you will never fail. It's just, it may take more time than you expected.
I believe I'm different. And I know you do as well. So I believe that and that's not to make myself like I'm fucking some holy whatever, but I have these beliefs in myself, which I believe drives me the way that it drives me.
The timeline is what gives you the anxiety, not the fear. You keep going. The pathway to my success, which never really ends, because you get to a goal and all you do is fucking pass on by and move to the next one.
Hey, Patrick says to us, I was always scared of disappointing my parents, Johnny, but they both passed when I was a teenager.
If I could find one of those in that good a shape, I would fucking buy it. How much power are you going to generate fucking pulling on handlebars versus fucking pushing off a sturdy fucking footboard?
Well, and I
played pickleball for an hour. I'm telling you, last time we did that, I mean, it's to a certain extent. I'm a little. I'm in a bad way, but I'm limping around for the rest of the day because my fucking lower body's pretty fucking spent.
I like the simplicity of the compound. Just put some plates on and just lift big things and put them down. Makes me feel pretty good. Feels good. I guarantee you, Dad's humor, Johnny, was not on the list of their interests. No, not at all. You don't fail as long as you don't quit. It's a different experience when it's just the Keith and John show. But it's fun. It's good. We give you guys stuff that you don't get when we got guests on the show, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we do. We can talk about your racist person you're working with if you want, but I'll take your call. I noticed there's no smell coming today because Kai's not shitting her pants. Yeah, she's been shitting her pants the days before, but today she's just fucking on the ball. And it's funny because as I've been hanging out with Lauren now, coming up on whatever it's probably close to 10 years now. I would say that's one of the things that she's really encouraged me as we've gone through our life together, which is why the elevator. Let's get to the stairs. These little decisions that we make, the impact that it has on our overall life. And what I find is that the stairs, those simple things in front of you, will change your life. And it's not because stairs are special. No. It's because stairs, like the snooze button, think about this. They expose you when nobody's watching because they're right there. They're all around us. They're everywhere. Fucking stairs everywhere. They're beside the elevator like that silent truth serum.
Elevator is the adult snooze button. Stairs are the truth, and truth is annoying.
Let's just strip it right back down to some basic stuff. And I'm not gonna serve up any kind of magical solutions. These two things, the snooze button and the snares, how they could impact our lives. This is where habit stacking gets dangerous, but in a good way. Because you don't need motivation to choose the stairs or not hitting the snooze button. You need a trigger so that you can hijack the moment so that you can get yourself out of the comfort by grabbing the stairs over the elevator. True story. Triggered. Because the stairs aren't about fitness. They're about your own self-trust. Yes, go look in the mirror and ask yourself that as you go through your day today. Because every time you take the elevator instead of the stairs, you're telling yourself, you're telling your nervous system, oh, I don't have a time management problem. No, my friend, you actually have a self-agreement problem. Oh, I know, it stings. I know truth hurts often. Because if you can't keep a promise that takes 8 seconds, I'm sorry, guys, I'm putting it on the table. Why the fuck are you going to trust yourself with a 10-year plan? Those stairs, they turn your building into your gym. Those stairs turn your commute into your training. Those stairs turn your day into a series of tiny votes. For the person you say you want to become, yeah, you're soft in the belly, you're soft in the mind. You're not physically strong. You're not mentally strong. You're not spiritually strong. But you're soft enough to be controlled by comfort.
That was a body slam on your excuses. Full show starts soon. Do not hide in the comments.
So you fucked up along the way and now you can't stop reliving it. We get it.
You feel that way because you care.
But staying stuck in spilled milk won't get you where you want to go.
So today we're showing you how to let it go and start leading again with self-forgiveness and real confidence.
Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where accountability partner here to help you start your day with real talk, motivating content, and entertaining conversation. We are live and we are an R-rated experience.
The best part was when I got out of the car, it was
Everybody's trying to win. Nobody's trying to solve.
Live beats perfect every time.
Reset is a decision, not a calendar date.
Listening is how you find the real problem underneath the surface. All right, breathe. Just breathe. That's what you got to do. Yeah, you just got to breathe. Breathe. Woo, baby. Hey, good morning and welcome to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Fringe, a live morning show for men who want real talk. Breathe. Motivating content and entertaining conversations that help you start your day right with positive energy. Breathe. And some momentum. Hey, we're not here to coddle you. Oh, fuck no. We are not here. I got no time for coddling. Nope. No time for coddling. We're not here to shame you either. We're here to help you start your day right. You know how we do that? We get up, we get after it right here live, 8 o'clock Eastern time, morningsinthelab.live, mitl.live every single day. I invite you to like the show, subscribe to it, and come say hi in the live chat. And hey, do you dwell on the past mistakes like that spilt milk over there, or do you just let it go? Hey, let us know. Come say hi in the comments. We got Neiman out there in the comments this morning. This is an R-rated experience. Just to remind you guys, this is an R-rated experience. So if you got kids in the room, put the headphones on, or ask them to change some rooms. Yeah, we like to use some colorful language around here, and we talk about everything. Just ask Sterling Preston and John Anderson. Hey, today's February 11th. If you've hit snooze once every morning since January 1st, you are now 378 minutes behind me, John, and everyone who did not give into that button. The button that's wrecking your life. Yeah, that's 6 hours. That's 18 minutes, you guys. Woo! So nobody should be saying, I don't have any time. Period. Stop hitting the snooze button. You just might find some success. Or just stop complaining that you're too busy. Yeah, we can't have it both ways. That's a true story. Hey, coming up in hour one. Yes. Well, so we're not talking conspiracy stuff, but I felt like we got to put this one on the table. New evidence in the Kurt Cobain case. Yes, the accountability crisis. We're going to have a little chat about that. I did not think we'd be having this conversation ever again, but it looks like we're going to be having this chat here today coming up on the show. And hey, I got something funny. Oh, I forgot to tell Lauren about this one. Ja Rule, Tony Yaya, Uncle Murder Clash, and Delta fight with 50 Cent. Yeah, some pillow tossing on the show. We're talking about that one coming up. Hey, ChatGPT adds optional contact syncing to suggest friends. Study finds AI more likely to repeat medical stuff. And well, we got a bunch of other things to put on the table here this morning as well. Hey guys, Sophia Grant has taken us down center stage. Elizabeth Parrish, no, not Cheryl Parrish, who I called her the entire show yesterday. Cheryl Parrish joining us. No, actually, Elizabeth Parrish, known as Patient Zero, traveled to Colombia to undergo experimental gene therapy aimed at reversing biological aging. Yeah, Elizabeth is 18 years old, going on 60. All kidding aside, over 100 injections, a direct challenge to conventional medicine, and mother motivated by her son's type 1 diabetes diagnosis and a willingness to go first. We're going to talk about longevity. No, we're not talking Dr. Peter Acha today. Oops, sorry. I just... Hey, I was telling Whitaker yesterday, we call it like it is. Hey, speaking of Whitaker, 8:30 right here on this channel. She's dropping her show. It starts with Joy Live. Yeah, so we're talking longevity, risk tolerance, the ethics of biohacking, and what it means to refuse the default path. So if you were looking for an interesting conversation, stick around. We're going to get that one off the table. And hey, second hour, no clue what we're talking about. Spilled milk ruled for men. Yeah, the 2026, the number one killer is guys that are sitting back and crying over spilt milk. And if we're lucky, we got Cheryl Whitaker joining us in the show. And hey, coming up as well, I get to. Yes, I get to. And you know, Holroyd, Sollywood shaking, boys. I'm kind of leaning into this get to thing lately. And man, so fortunate that I get to do some really great things. And this being one of them every single day, hanging out with you guys. So I got a fun little monologue I got dropping on the show here today, which is about just this idea of gratitude and, you know, how we like to feel about ourselves. And when we do things that, you know, we're really, really privileged that we get a chance to do. So, hey, guys, let's get after it. Let's get the show on the road because the morning loop, it starts right now.
Yesterday, your watch gave you a score. You believed it like gospel.
Then your mood tanked and you still said, I'm fine.
That's not data, that's denial.
Today, your past gives you a score too. It only remembers the misses.
Spilled milk rule. Clean the spill, take the lesson, stop rechecking the grade.
Leadership in 2026 is action, not obsessing.
You can't lead forward while staring backward.
So ditch the dashboard and the rerun. Morning loop starts now.
Coming up on the show, Elizabeth, I'm not Cheryl Parrish. Yeah. Patient zero, a mother who flew to Colombia to hack her own DNA, dropping here in about 25 minutes or so. Well, she's out on the West Coast, so we'll see if she's waking up. We were having some giggles yesterday. She's like, hey, morning person. I'm like, yeah, morning person right here. Hey, guys, Holroyd Sullivan, have you had a chance to check into the show yet? I know that Holroyd's a keener. He's one of the OGs here. Well, Holroyd, I'm going to give you a chance to be an OG once again. Yes, mitl.live, morningsinthelab.live. I encourage you guys to go check into the show. If you haven't done it yet, I encourage you to get in there. I got my coffee cup in there this morning. First thing, I beat y'all in there this morning. Morningsinthelab.live. You're going to see a check-in button, and you get on. Oh, good. There you go, Sully. Hey, you know what, brother? I got to be honest, man. I'm still learning how this thing works. So if you get the confirm email and it doesn't work, let me know. Send me a text or something. But you'll see there at the top of the page there, you'll see that we got a check-in button. So click on check-in, come check into the show, and you can start a streak. And what does it mean? Well, I don't know, actually. To be honest with you, we're building it on the fly like an airplane. So the plan here is to really to create a space that's really your free accountability partner. It costs you nothing to check in. You get a streak, and we're going to add some sleep score tracking. We got a question of the day. We got a poll of the day. And hey, is this morning the morning, Neiman, for the poll joke of the day? Yeah. To my friends who know me well enough, I like to drop the poll joke. And no, not the Christian or Jewish or Russian joke, the Pole joke. Oh, see, Marty's not here to give me gears. Marty's not here to give me gears at all. But yeah, go in and go sign into the channel and come say hello, go check in. And you can upload your proof, your accountability proof, one of two ways. You can either take a picture of that beautiful noggin of yours, Sullivan, like just the side profile of the one nostril. That's all I want to see, just the one nostril. Or, yeah, that's great. So, or you can, it might be best, guys, if we showed the proof wall instead of just sitting there and just showing like a sign-in thing. That might be helpful. Yeah. So you can get up, you can show yourself one of two ways. You can either upload a picture of yourself, take a picture of yourself, or generate a photo, so that you can prove your proof that you're up and you're at them. And hey, we are going to add a anti-snooze button as well, Jimmy. So if somebody gets up, I'm sorry. So here's how it's going to work. You set the alarm on your phone. If you hit the snooze button, it breaks your streak. If you don't hit the snooze button, you keep your streak. So we're creating something fun for folks that costs them nothing. And it's going to give you a chance to join the show and participate and have some fun with us. I am up and Adam. Yes. Oh, nicely done, Adam. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I love the support, Holroyd. So yeah, so we got the show, we got the network. We now have our check-in app, the Mornings in the Lab app. You can join us, morningsinlab.live, and you can actually join the show from there. You'll also see that we have all the topics of discussion on there. We're putting on there, so you'll be able to know what we're talking about throughout the show. You'll know what's coming up next. We got poll, we got questions, and of course the check-in. So, and if you scroll down the page, you'll see guests that are coming up on the show, and you'll see highlights and clips from the show, and you'll see lab highlights from the show, and you'll see the upcoming schedule. Bottom line is it is an all-encompassed application to keep the show on the road. Hey guys, coming up, I was saying earlier, I get to. Yes, I get to. And not that I have to, and not that I'm stuck. No, I get to. I get to show up. And that alone tells you everything about who I am. And I'm thinking that it's been a while since I took some time to introduce myself to all of you, so I'm going to do it today. And in a world obsessed with clout, I deleted the crowd years back. And in a world drowning in content, I am building connection. You know, the kid from Winnipeg, the husky Keith, weight on my body, noise in my head, and somehow I ended up building a global company, selling it, staying in the fight, then realized the real work wasn't money. No, it was becoming the kind of man who could actually feel his own life. So later today, I'm going to tell you who I am. Yep, true story. Properly, that as well, through the lens of gratitude and the hard-earned truth behind I get to. And kudos to Johnny for reframing that language in my head. But I'm excited, man. I put this one together last night, and it's my story through my lens, all through the frame of gratitude. I get to. And fair warning, it's not a polished bio at all. It's a mirror. Stick around. Bottom, hour 2. I get to with Keith. But hey, I see him sitting there patiently. Jimmy, how did he get into the lab today? Who am I talking about? John Anderson. All right, so I guess we don't have any opener for Johnny. All right, there he is. What is shaking, Johnny?
I didn't get to see what kind of animal I wrote in today. What's up, Jimmy? Come on, man.
Neither did I, actually. I don't know if they had anything. I don't think they had anything you writing in on here today. I'm not sure where the opener was. How are you?
Well, I mean, I got to give it's pretty tough to fucking top the camel.
How are you, pal? What's shaking today?
I'm good, although fuck, man. I yesterday on the pickleball court, I fucking took this weird step and fucking triggered that fucking nerve in my leg.
Oh no!
Just a skosh, But I mean, I was definitely limping yesterday, so that stuff Well, I guess better late than never. I got to tell you, though, if I could slide off the top of a fucking elephant and land on my feet that comfortably in my mid-50s, I would be a happy dude. That would hurt. What about you, dude? Could you jump, like if you jumped off of a 5-foot box to the ground, how would that feel to you?
So at 54, I'd probably feel it.
I wouldn't do it. There's no way I would do it.
Really? Yeah? Because you feel you hurt yourself, eh?
No fucking way. No, that's because that's right there. That's ACL. That's how people tear their ACLs.
No shit.
Yep. Yeah, jumping down off of something because you can't help but to land on your toe, right?
Okay.
So all of that stress goes right up into the front well, I shouldn't say the front, but I mean it's a big part of what the ACL does is it keeps, like, if this is the knee.
Yeah.
So the ACL keeps this from happening.
So, dude, you've opened my eyes to this now. So I got my big, I got my my pull-up bar back here. When I pull up, what am I, 3 feet off the ground probably? And I'm serious, like I'm short. So, and I'm actually being serious. So a typical rack, what am I up there? 2-3 feet?
How high do you have to jump to? Because I can reach up and grab it with my tiptoes.
Yeah. I got to jump up probably a couple of feet. So I'm probably 3 feet up there, Johnny. I bet you, 3-4 feet maybe.
I know 4 feet's a long fucking way, dude.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Yeah, so probably 3 feet. I'm thinking out loud now because I dropped down to the floor. Now you're making me question whether I should be doing that because I could just tweak my ACL without even noticing it or doing something. And I'm like, fuck, Anderson warned me about this. And I'm being actually serious right now.
I think there's probably, because, as it's a great fucking question for Grok. As we fall, there's what they call terminal velocity, right? I think isn't it 187 miles an hour, if I'm correct? Either way, if you, whatever the faster you get going, because the higher you are, right? a smaller jump has less impact. So clearly you're jumping down off this with no issue. You would feel some sort of a shocking pain if your knees didn't like it.
Yeah. But I never thought about it the way you presented it to me. Cause I still feel like I'm 20, right? I get in the gym like, oh yeah, I'm still 20 years old. And I'm not being an idiot with my weights, but sometimes I jump around and flip around like I'm 20, but I'm not thinking about just doing some little movement that has a major impact that I'm not even considering.
You also got to think too, that like when I slid off that elephant, right? All I do is just slide down. I'm not really, You're in kind of a mode. You're kicking ass, you're braced, you're ready, you're in game mode. A lot of times when people just kind of drop off something, they're not in that mode, and just bam, that's what happens.
Yes. Yeah, I get you.
I would say if I had to put, I would guess, I mean, because your vertical leap can't be fucking 4 feet. There's no possibility. A good NBAer is just over 3 feet. So there's no fucking way you're jumping 4 feet up to that pull-up bar.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
So I would have guessed it's probably closer to 18 inches or 2 feet.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, because I'm okay. Yeah. So I can box jump. Like I can do I'm thinking when's the last time I did a box jump? Like I probably could do it.
It's not the up, it's the down.
Oh yeah.
All about the down.
Yeah.
Even when I was proficient at box jumps.
Yeah.
Jump to the top, I'd have a set of steps to go down the side.
Oh yeah. I would do actually. I would not do the steps, but I would take a second step down because when AJ was training me, I was working. I love doing box jumps. There's something really cool about being explosive with a jump, isn't there? I don't know. I just feel like as a human being, it maybe feels like you're young, or I feel like I'm a child when I'm doing box jumps. And it's been a while since I've done it, but you know what I mean. There's a certain feeling of I don't know what it is, but it's a really cool feeling when you can do a box jump.
Well, it's like a compound movement turbocharge.
Yeah. Well, and you know what too? You'll appreciate this. Where AJ was training, and I'm sure where you were as well, probably in your gym. Their box jumps, Johnny, weren't the padded ones. They were originally the wood boxes where if you missed, you scraped your knee. And the second set were the metal ones where if you missed, you really fucking killed up your knee. So, and then it was finally like, AJ, buy some of the cushion ones. So they finally got some of those cushion, like those pro ones. But for the longest time, dude, I was so locked in because I never wanted to fucking miss the top because my knees would just get all messed up.
Well, that's why you don't buy the cushions.
Well, yeah.
You know, but I mean, because back in the strength days, it was all about, because the boxes were 50. If we were just doing a heavy set of stones, they were all 52 inches.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If it was like a lighter set, it would be from like 72 down to 52.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
No matter what, you had 52, and very few guys could walk up and just fucking. Now, keep in mind, not a running start. Walk up, stand there, feet together.
Yes.
And I can't tell you how many fucking shins I saw destroyed with people trying to pull.
I bet. Yeah. Hey, Johnny, how in a wrestling ring, what's the top turnbuckle? What is that? 3 feet? 4 feet? What's that? Good morning, Chris Todd.
Good question. It's somewhere about my chest level.
Okay.
So it's going to be somewhere I would think, because I convert my nipple when I was jumping. That was like I could figure out how tall something was by walking up and putting it against my nipples. My nipples were about 50, right about 52, depending on my shoes.
Okay. Good morning, Toronto. Well, so I'm asking because we both have seen guys like, well, maybe because you can spring off the mat is what I'm thinking, but you've seen guys like box jump or spring off the mat right to the top rope.
Yeah, that's a big jump. Very few guys do that. But then the hard part is you're going up onto something that moves.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about I'm thinking you guys can appreciate like some of the Ricky Steamboats, the Chris Benoits, the more athletic guys that were just hopping all over the place, right? Maybe not so much the Brock Lesnar's and the John Andersons, but and I'm not suggesting you couldn't, but I'm just saying I thought it was more the smaller, the Rey Mysterios, the Chris, like the little guys, right? That would hop around.
For a big guy, what we would do we would walk down to the ring, nice and slow, and you'd stand at the apron. And you jump up on the apron, not take steps. For a big guy, that was huge. Yeah. And then to be able to do that in the middle of a fucking match was a totally different deal because you're fucking winded doing it.
I was just going to say because you're tired and you're like, okay, I got to fucking jump up here now. Good morning, Spartacus. Good morning. Yeah.
When I would do that, because they would like in a big match, I would do that.
Yeah.
Like I would I'm in the beginning of the match, I would just go up and not worry about grabbing something.
Yeah.
In the middle of the match, I would fucking going up, making sure I had hold of a fucking rope.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, there's something really cool about a box jump or a straight up jump. So when you see a big man, you just said it. Like when you see Batista or Goldberg or Anderson walking up to the apron and this big hulking beast just fucking gets down and jumps up, you're like, oh, it's like seeing like a gorilla. It's like seeing a big animal do something that you're not expecting to do. Right. So
speaking of gorillas, dude, I saw this fucking thing yesterday. You know, every once you get these fucking people send you videos and it's like, oh, fuck, another one of these, goddamn it. But if it's someone special, you want to watch it so you can respond. I'm so glad because a lot of times I'll just heart it, right? I don't have fucking time for this shit.
So hold on, I'm going to interrupt you. Is this the one that was shared by the guy with the orange hair last week?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Didn't come from. So
okay.
It was basically two people. I want to say, well, I know for sure one was a lady. I don't remember the other one. In a cage with a fucking it was a cheetah or a tiger, a big fucking cat, big cat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And somehow the fucking and granted, I was watching this over and over trying to figure out it was AI. I didn't think so, but I don't know. You tell what you think. The only reason I thought that it might be is because why would these two animals be in the same cage together?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
So the cat gets fucking bent out of shape, but the lady starts fucking whooping her ass. Right.
What?
Yeah. I mean, fucking beating on her good. Like, holy, she's freaking out. Right.
Murphy.
Yeah. And then also fucking nowhere, this fucking big ape, chimpanzee, I don't know what you call him, big motherfucker, comes in and just fucking grabs this thing. I mean, it took him a second to get it away from her. He actually, he actually walked her trying to get to the cat because he was going because cats are moving so fast, right? Gets a hold of this motherfucker by the neck and pinned him on the fucking ground and held him there so the lady could get away. It was really fucking cool, man. I was like, even if that was AI, it was because, yesterday I get back from pickleball. I'm limping. I'm like, God damn it. I don't need this shit. But I remember exactly how I made it feel better. So it was all about my positioning. I needed to let the thing calm down. So I basically took my computer, my book, everything I needed, a meal, my water over to the coffee table next to the couch, cleared off the fucking couch, put this fucking pillow under my back. And I get all situated. And I'm like feeling like a bitch, right?
Doing horizontal work, right? Yeah.
Fuck, man. This is fucking. And all of a sudden, this video shows up, and I was like, at the end, I was like, even if it's AI, I needed that feel good moment. So fucking, that was pretty cool.
That's pretty funny. I only bring up, so last Friday, the current lovely president of the United States decided to share a video with a bunch of characters from the United States government, including two of them, one of them being the former president, Barack Obama, and his lovely wife, Michelle, as apes and monkeys.
Say that again?
Yeah, exactly. So he decided to share a video last week, an AI-generated video of the Lion King moment. And in the end of the video, the two characters that he had as monkeys were Barack and Michelle Obama. Like, nothing racial about that at all. Like, are you serious? Like, so don't comment. There's nothing to say. There's actually nothing.
Listen, what I always say, you can talk politics, I won't.
Well, and I'm not even talking about it. I'm just like, I can't. I was like, so when you said the two gorilla things, I'm like, are you talking about the one from last week? Because even Cheryl said, you comment on that? I'm like, I don't even know if I need to comment on that because that's ridiculous. But I will say
you're extra careful with politics. Like there's been actually a guest, I can't remember who it was. You're like, I don't mean to get political. And you said what you said. And he was like, how is that political?
Well, but here's what I'm learning though, right? Is that,
it's an interpretation.
It is, right? And politics is just part of culture these days, man. It really is. You can't look anywhere without it being somewhat political for some reason. It's like, oh, you like that music? You must be that color. Really? Like, can we not just... I had someone on the weekend, Johnny. I won't mention no names. He was like, oh, yeah. So if you like Elton John, you must not be like a conservative. I'm like, what? Like, it's this. We now live in a world where you get branded by what kind of music you like, with what political stance you sit on. I'm like, but hey, you made a comment. You said you didn't know if it was AI or not. Well, listen, I got a current event. Microsoft survey. Sterling Preston, deepfake spotting is plummeting, making it harder and harder for people like you and I to figure out whether something is real or not real. Let's run this clip, guys.
Microsoft safety survey says deepfake spotting collapsed. Only 25% got it right, down from 46% last year.
Weekly Gen AI use hit 38%. Meanwhile, 91% are worried about misuse, and top risks are hate speech, scams, violent imagery.
The UK says 8 million deepfakes were shared in 2025. If you can't spot it, you're the target. Verify before you share.
So don't feel bad, because basically 1 out of 4 people are struggling to realize whether something's real or not. That's brutal.
But the thing about it is, it's like, if you're one of these fucking idiots that go into social media to verify anything, you fucking deserve it.
Well, yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
Christ.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, man.
So here's something I did not expect we were going to be talking about in 2026, but apparently we are. So we grew up with some great music from the Seattle area, some good grunge music, and we grew up with an awesome artist named Kurt Cobain. Well, Johnny, they have I have it as our trending topic here today. The accountability crisis, new evidence in the Kurt Cobain case that's breaking today. Sterling Preston, what's this one all about?
A new forensic review is going viral about Cobain's death. Officials say nothing's being reopened.
Viral forensics sells certainty. Certainty gets clicks. Evidence gets boring, so it gets skipped.
Your job is to slow the story down. Ask what's verifiable today. If it's not, don't turn it into a sport.
So they opened it up, dude, and I'm like, so at some point, do you just I don't know. I saw this and I wanted to roll my eyes at it, because you're like, dude, like, do we just keep searching for things that aren't there? It just makes you wonder.
And then my first thought would be, they're taking these new tools, right, that we didn't have, and saying, okay, let's see what we can find out about this situation that we never really knew.
Oh, and you know what? That's an interesting way to put it, Anderson, because I never thought about it the way you just did. You're right. There's a new tool today that wasn't available 20 years ago. Wow, yeah, that's a really good thought. Which is like, okay, so now I have this. So you're an up and coming detective or something. You're like, yeah, I got this tool. Let's go open up this cold case and see what we can discover. And next thing you know, you're going down a path of curiosity.
What did they discover, though? That's the question.
What's that?
What did they discover?
Well, so they're well, exactly. So they discovered some new evidence, and they're not being very, very clear on it yet, but they're talking about some new evidence at the scene and at the analysis and through some materials. And I'm reluctant to.
What though?
Well, just the way the crime scene was set. There's questions whether he, it looked like more of a homicide, less so, some of the questions were, the way the crime scene was set, that he could not have shot himself. So they've been analyzing the entire crime scene again. And I know I'm being somewhat cryptic about it because they're not really offering much other than that. What they've discovered is that there might be some new evidence which encourages them to look further into the entire situation. And some of it is leaning on what the crime scene looked like. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you're a guy who did a bunch of fucked up shit and thought you got away with it, and then you see this Cobain thing and like, oh fuck, they're reopening fucking cases, and I've got a bunch of shit hanging in my fucking closet, a bunch of skeletons in it that I thought were gone.
Yeah,
and might be coming back.
I've thought that too, man. Because we both know there's people around the world that are in that situation you've just described, right? And they're thinking that they got away with it. And next thing you know, you're right. I like the way you put it. The tools come out and you're like, oh, hey, speaking of tools, dude, I got something going from Cobain. I got to go to something funny with you. So again, these two artists we grew up with. Remember, I don't know if you remember, but the early days of the rap battles with 50 Cent and Eminem and all those gangster guys. Well, one of them was 50 Cent and Ja Rule. Do you remember that at all by any chance?
I remember the names, but I don't really remember the beef.
So 50 Cent and Ja Rule had a massive beef, and there was like, I'm talking massive beefs, like hating each other and not being in the same room and all that. Well, Johnny, 25 years later, they end up on the same airplane yesterday. And there's a clip of these two guys, like these men that were beefing 25 years ago with 50 Cent behind Ja Rule, and they're arguing on the plane, and the guy got kicked off the plane. And I found it quite funny because one of the things that 50 Cent did to Ja Rule years ago was that he bought up the entire front rows of his concerts so that nobody can sit in the seats, because he's like, I'm going to piss you off. So yesterday, I just found it hilarious that these guys back from the olden days are all just getting their knickers in a knot and sitting on an airplane and having a crisis because of a beef from 25 years ago. It's like children, man.
I guess it kind of shows us that maybe it was real.
Well, that's exactly what it was. It wasn't a work. It was very much a. It was a work, which I thought was pretty funny. So,
because keep in mind the smart ones, they make it to where it's behind the scenes. They're giggling.
Well, 100%. It's
the fucking idiots that really get fucking mad at each other.
Yes. Yeah. It's and I think you're seeing it again. Like I said, after that fight on the weekend, after that Bad Bunny concert, you got the Paul brothers trying to generate some interest. You taught me something, man, just hanging out with you about the idea of money and how if that whole business is about money. So if I can generate some fire around Keith and John wanting to have a fight, and someone's like, hey, these guys don't like each other, we can make money out of it. There's a story there. Next thing you know, we're in the ring and we're fighting. I bring it up because the Paul brothers we're trying to tweak some stuff out of the Bad Bunny or the Paul brothers, trying to generate some heat, I'm suspecting, so they can go create a match. You can make some money. That's really what it comes down to, right?
100%. It's called business.
Yeah. Exactly. Aiden.
And the thing is that people fucking fall for this shit every fucking time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I know. Look at the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather thing, eh? Like the money that thing made, like that money that event made, and then Conor just went away and messed his whole life up after that one fight. I
mean, remember BJ Penn?
Yes. Yeah.
So he would say when a fight's over, he would be matched up and he'd reach out to the fighter and say, look, I'm gonna fucking generate the biggest fucking payday for us. Their main line, their headliners, they're getting paid based on a lot of shit. So the more hype they can generate. And BJ's just fucking roll with me. When it's over, forget it all. But I'm gonna fucking make the biggest fight ever for us.
Oh,
we got it too.
Yeah.
BJ obviously was smart. I don't know how often he reached out to his opponent, but I know for sure he did it on some occasions because some guys he probably just didn't trust that, it was that they would understand. And then if the other person's playing along, it can really fucking go somewhere. But if the other person's fucking truly losing their mind, they'll do something stupid and the whole thing can go fucking haywire.
I like how you said where it can really truly go somewhere. That's because that's what it's storytelling, right? And if you can generate a story that can generate money over a period of time, I love that's business. That's good business at the end of the day. That's wrestling storytelling, fighting storytelling, political storytelling. Actually, that's just what it comes down to. Speaking of storytelling, coming up, Elizabeth Parrish, the mom who flew to Colombia to hack her own DNA, coming up in a minute, Johnny. We got Elizabeth Parrish joining us here in the lab. Hey, Aiden, I see your comment there. Kurt's death was a homicide, 1,000%. Well, like they've opened up the case. We'll see what happens with that one. Hey, also speaking of that, John, that's just a quick current event cop topic too. That Nancy Guthrie's mom still has not been found, which is still a tragic out there in Tucson. And they had that person. They found somebody. They had a guy caught outside her, like on the Nest camera, and there was a video released yesterday. But that's just freaky to me, man, because she's been 10 days gone. Like nobody knows where she is and missing. And think about your mom. I think about my mom, right? And I just can't imagine what that's like going through. Honest to God.
Yeah, the longer that goes, the less possibility I would think there would be to get her back.
Well, it's no question. What a freaky video that the New York Times, that they released yesterday of this person standing at her front door, basically breaking in, and it's eerie, man, and it's just a really eerie situation. All right, we're gonna change some gears. We're gonna bring in Elizabeth Parrish. Elizabeth, don't call me Cheryl. John, yesterday's show I kept referring to her as Cheryl Parrish, but her name's actually Elizabeth Parrish. Coming up, the mom who flew to Colombia to hack her own DNA. Elizabeth Parrish joining us on center stage with Sophia Grant.
If you're over 40, you've felt it. Your body doesn't bounce back, and the clock starts talking louder. Most guys don't fear aging. They fear losing capability, strength, clarity, and the role they're supposed to hold. Today's guest lives in that exact pressure. She isn't a wellness influencer. She's someone pushing the edge of medicine. Liz is the CEO and founder of a revolutionary biotech company based near Seattle on Bainbridge Island. She's known as Patient Zero, the first person to undergo gene therapy with the goal of reversing biological aging. In September 2015, at age 44, she flew to Bogota. She received experimental therapies targeting telomeres and muscle preservation. Liz says blood tests showed her telomeres looked about 20 years younger. She's since pursued clotho, follistatin, and PGC1F. She also says over 300 people worldwide have accessed gene therapies through her company's network. When people call it playing God, she calls it medicine catching up to suffering. That argument matters, especially when your health is on the line. Liz, thanks for joining the big show today. We're happy to have you here.
Johnny, what if I told you there's a woman out there, a mom from Seattle? Oh, we're talking Kurt Cobain this morning. Yeah, she's from Seattle, who secretly flew to Colombia, didn't tell her husband or her kids. Oh, Johnny, maybe that's what we got to talk about with Brianna Bass. You mean you went to Colombia and got all this stuff that didn't tell your husband or kids and had over 100 needles shoved into her body in a clinic? Johnny, that's where I exit the conversation, and you can have it with her because I'm not into that one. Not for cosmetic reasons, not because she was sick, but because she decided that aging itself is a disease and she was going to be the guinea pig to prove it. Sophia, let's bring her up. Elizabeth Parrish into the lab with Keith and John.
How's it going? Good morning from Seattle.
How are you today?
Good. Good.
So hold on. You get on the airplane. You don't tell the husband and kids you're going to Colombia to get some needles stabbed in your body. I don't care about anything else other than how did that conversation go when you got home?
Well, I guess that's a funny part of the conversation. Well, when I got home, I was
sure. I'm sorry, Liz. Can you jack your audio up a little bit? Do you mind?
Yeah.
Thank you. Just a little louder. It'd be helpful.
Is that better now?
That's better. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Awesome.
So actually, it went really well for me for about 8 months because I decided not to bring it up because I needed to recover.
Oh.
And I needed to let the gene therapies work. And I kept meaning to tell the family, but I really needed things to go normally because it was a first experiment in the world with these gene therapies in this combination. And 8 months later, my husband read it in Wired magazine. And that's when we decided to have the conversation.
Are you still married?
Yeah, I am. He's a pretty patient guy.
So what was the biggest you before the therapy, you were here, after you're here, describe.
Yeah. Well, so the big exciting gene therapy was telomerase reverse transcriptase, and big name, but what it does is lengthens the telomeres at the caps of the ends of the chromosome, therefore extending lifespan and health span. So short telomeres are associated with all the diseases of aging. And when your cells can no longer divide, it's because these caps get too short. And then
can I jump in real quick? Just correct me if I'm wrong here, but a telomere, basically, I'm just trying to make this real simple for our audience. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Basically, it's like a strand of DNA, and as it the ends fray and it gets shorter, it gets down to the point where it's just a nub and you're pretty much just done.
Yeah, you're pretty much done. They can stay short for a while. It's called cellular senescence, but it's why we look and feel old, and it's why we get the end stage diseases that we then die of, and things like cancer. When those tips get short and frayed, as you explained, it creates genomic instability. I was just reading this morning, a paper came out in molecular biology that showed that if they turned up the expression of telomerase, this is the gene therapy I did, temporarily in skin cells, they're resistant to radiation. And this is what we would expect for this therapy for the future. So not only could it extend healthy lifespan, it might make us radiation resistant for space travel.
There's actually a peptide that I've used multiple occasions, and it's called epitalon. It's all about the telomeres and helping. The argument is, can it really lengthen them, or is it just slowing it down? Either way, when I take this stuff, I take it before bed, and the best way I can describe is I take this stuff. I got to take it shortly before I go to bed, because it's like when I do feel it kind of set in. it's like my body is just like saying, whoa, thank you, lay down, relax, let me do what I'm going to do for a while.
Yeah, so that was a
Liz, we're having a hard time hearing you. Can you get closer to your microphone? Like our audience, we're all having a hard time hearing you.
I haven't had that happen before. I'm not sure. Let me check my computer and see what system it's using for the microphone.
Yeah, you sound really far away.
Yeah, that's the first time I've had that happen. Let me see.
And I
didn't check my microphone coming in, so let me do the same thing.
Johnny, you're okay here. We just got some comments from the community here.
Make our guests feel better, dude. Let me say what I'm doing.
Thanks, Anderson. Yeah, nice. That's good. So we got Liz. Liz, don't call me Cheryl Parrish. Gentleness this morning. We're just getting our audience sorted out here. I'm really intrigued by this. And Johnny, Cheryl's getting that sorted out. John, telomeres. So help me as a super layman. You know, you guys both kind of lost me there. So what's the telomere?
So think of it. You ever see the diagram where you got the DNA strands, got all the circular shit?
Yeah.
So imagine that. Now imagine the ends are supposed to be kind of like protected, let's say. You know?
Okay.
But then just like a shoelace, that little protected part, that part comes off, and now you're left with this frayed tip, and that lace just keeps getting shorter and shorter.
Oh. And so so why does the telomere start working itself back, John? Is that our body aging?
Well, I mean, granted, the way we live our lives, we fuck ourselves up almost from the jump. The way we eat, the lack of sleep. If someone, like if you lived a certain style of life, your telomeres, I believe, would be far less damaged than if you lived a very different, stressful, non-healthy, non-sleeping, terrible. So we do it to ourselves.
So then, Cheryl, you're saying you went for therapy. I think you sound better there, Cheryl. You said when you went for therapy, it extends the life of those telomeres. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yeah, I'm not Cheryl. I'm Liz, but yeah.
I know. I'm joking with you. Yeah.
So this is
to see if you're listening to me. Keep going. So, but that's what you're saying, Liz. Is that the choices we make fray those telomeres? You went down for therapy to extend them or to extend the life of them. Is that how it works?
Yeah, to extend them. So of several species, the lifespan is actually tied to the length of the telomeres. So that would be dogs, horses, cats, humans, and a few other species like sheep. So when those telomeres get short, basically end-stage diseases set in. And so the goal was to lengthen them. So before we did the gene therapy, actually I did try the Epitalon for a couple months. We decided to test that.
How much were you doing per day?
I don't remember. This was so many years ago. But my telomeres were the length of a 60-year-old when I went to get the gene therapy. And so that definitely for me wasn't working. About 2 months after the gene therapy, they were lengthened by 20 years and they continue to lengthen. I redid the gene therapy in 2020 and they lengthened significantly again. And then they have a slow rise of lengthening.
So Liz, hold on. Dude, you got me fascinated here. So you go through this therapy and you actually can see your telomeres growing again?
Yeah. So we do multiple testing. We use 3 different labs, and in the T lymphocytes, that's what's most used to look at telomere lengthening. So it's not every cell in my body that we test, but in the T lymphocytes, we see definitive lengthening after the gene therapy, and then a slow rise over the years after it.
Wow. So then, John, this relates to the peptide therapy you go through. Am I correct in saying that, John?
Yeah. I mean, Epitalon, she mentioned, Liz had mentioned that she had tried that. Yes. And, ultimately in the peptide world, it's the big question. Does it just slow it or does it actually regrow it? Obviously, nobody really knows, or it's inconclusive. So you can argue what you will. But, as I lead with all of my research with peptides and everything else I've done with my body, I lead with how I feel. So there's no question there was a positive benefit. What that positive benefit was, I don't know. But I know that the first time I did it, I did 5 milligrams a day, which is I would start on the lower side. I think the medical field was advising 10. And I knew some people that did 10, but I thought, God, that just sounds like a lot. So I did the first whole thing at basically half speed, which is pretty much what I'll do. Sometimes even less than that. But this last time I did it at 10, I was like, holy shit. There's a fucking big difference there. So whether my telomeres are just being, you know, rejuvenated or helped in some way or lengthened, I'll never know, because it's not the peptide world is a little different than what Liz is talking about here. But there's no question, I know for sure that I'm going to be doing the epitalon far more often than I originally thought, based upon how it makes me feel.
Interesting. Liz, when you hear John talk about, so we talk about feelings often. We both believe that numbers are a guide, but numbers can also be wrong. Numbers can be distracting. Numbers can be a major distraction. They can be nothing but noise and not a signal. Liz, you know, you said that over 100,000 people die every day of aging diseases, and that not knowing there could be a cure and not acting on it, that itself is what's truly brave. So do you, Liz, ever wrestle with the possibility that your research could be wrong?
I mean, we have to look at a lot of data. So feelings are one thing, but feelings, you know, I mean, when you're part of something experimental, you might feel great about it. You might feel worried about it. There might be a lot of feelings around it, but numbers are really important, and data is really important in our world. And so it's what we hang our hat on every day. So we want you to feel better, of course, and perform better, but the numbers are important. So if you're looking at metabolic,
let me sneak in real quick right there. In this case, Keith, I have got to say I am 100,000% behind what Liz is saying about numbers, because we're not talking about the average person getting fucking distracted by a watch on their wrist. We're talking about high level people that need a fucking bitty little metric to understand what they're doing. Totally different. And when I chew on numbers, I'm talking about, listen, all you idiots out there, to stop fucking counting shit that doesn't matter. They're specifically using these numbers to diagnose these micro changes, which could turn into 10 years of life.
Yeah. So when we look at like metabolic markers, those are going to change, and they're going to change hourly in your body. So there are some things that you might test regularly that you know, they're going to change all day long. And so, you know, measuring them is kind of like always a moving target.
Okay.
But some of the markers that we actually check are long-term markers of beneficial health. And those are important. So we have to check the fast-moving ones and the slow-moving ones. And that's how we will know how therapies work. So data is king in our world, but also, you know, the optimum of what a person feels after a gene therapy is highly important, because we want their lifestyle to be impacted by the therapy itself. So if someone who is younger takes a therapy, we probably won't see big movement, but when someone is diseased taking the therapy, we should see the needle move a lot with gene therapy.
Quick question. So I know I kind of asked this before, but I'm being more specific. What's the number one thing you felt or you feel from getting this done?
Yeah, well, I mean, the number one thing, and there are probably people out there that would resonate with this, is just the lack of limitation, the lack of aches and pains, the lack of ability to do the things that I did when I was younger, you know, carrying your groceries, being able to run farther, to be able to lift more without as much pain the next day.
I remember you are 100% talking my language. This is why I do nothing but fucking experiment with ways to do this within. I mean, as an athlete, it was high level. It was PD, obviously, and as I'm in my 50s, I'm not competitive anymore. But now it's with, you know, every other different, with amino acids to peptides. So the next question I have is, basically, I guess the question that comes to, just put bluntly, is what did this fucking thing cost? Is it something that anybody can do?
Right now, the therapies are quite cost prohibitive. We work with licensing partners that work outside the U.S., and therefore we're able to deliver gene therapies at a fraction of the cost of U.S. costs. So let's talk about
totally.
US.
Like if you're a stem cell, I would be going to fucking Colombia.
Yeah, well, U.S. approved gene therapies run from $2 to $7 million, and
Whoa.
so when you go offshore, it's less expensive, but it's still pretty cost prohibitive. So there are licensing partners that do what's called a buyers club. That's probably something we shouldn't talk about, but it's when a lot of people get together and decide to do a gene therapy together, and it drives the cost down. So you're still talking about with a single person paying hundreds of thousands, but multiple people paying much less. And it is experimental medicine. So I'm not promoting you doing that. If there's a
Well,
clinical
I
trial,
took 100% loud and clear, but you're talking to a guy that is already in this world.
Yeah.
That you're talking about, because like stem cell was something that I keep kind of toying with that, but this is like a whole nother step beyond stem cell.
So
Yeah, I mean, if I was a stem cell person, I think that for you, I would choose exosomes instead. Then you don't have to have cell markers in your body that are not your cells.
Yeah.
I am working with a company now. This is pretty exciting. They're taking your own stem cells out of your body. They're genetically modifying them, making them young.
This is exactly my concern, is that you're going to put all these fucking things in me. Are you really getting them from where they're supposed to be coming from? If they're
Yeah,
coming
no, they
from
should.
me,
They really should be coming from you.
yeah,
And
if they're
so
coming
we're
from it,
gonna,
next thing
yeah.
you know, it's coming from, I'm going to turn into somebody else, because really it's someone else's shit running through me.
Well, I mean, if it's like an umbilical cord thing, it's not supposed to be. But the thing is, those cells are not going to stay in your body because your body doesn't recognize them as your own cells. So, what is the benefit of a stem cell? It's the exosomes that it's putting off. If it's not your stem cell, you're only really having it injected so that it will send off these protein markers that tell your body to regenerate. But you could just take exosomes. They don't stay in your body for very long. You get them once a week, and then they help regenerate your body. I only tried exosomes once recently, but it was pretty neat. I'm not sure what the benefit was of it just doing it once, but I would just suggest just putting the cell markers in there, the proteins that the stem cells would send off. Otherwise, have your stem cells rejuvenated, reset to a young biological age, and put back in your body. That then they will implant and they will start regenerating your body long term.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely haven't heard all this. Thank you for that information. But what you're talking about is a whole different platform of basically therapeutic possibility for living longer and happier.
Yeah, and these are, I mean, a lot of people look at this technology and say, is this playing God? I mean, they don't really take into their mind what open heart surgery is. It's, if we can start to just by an IV injection infuse you with genes that keep you from having to have your chest opened up and veins moved around your body, or pig heart valves put in your body, this is really beautiful medicine.
wow. We are hanging out with Liz.
Well, you know what? The resistance is because this is the shit that fucking it shuts down. This would be like a replacement of our current system. The subscription model would be over.
It would, because the gene therapies will last in your body for 10 to 15 years before the protein expression goes down. So this is more of a set it and forget it and get back to your lifestyle.
Yeah, think about how many fucking months of prescriptions of XYZ Big Pharma would be losing out on if people started getting this shit within a reasonable price, or insurance covered it,
Well, and think about it, the United States is the most prescribed country in the world, and we have the shortest lifespan of all the industrialized countries. So
we
there's
use like
something going
80%.
wrong.
We're 5% of the population. We use 80% of the pills.
Yeah. Yeah. Liz Parrish is joining myself and John Anders this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends. She's the CEO and founder of BioViva Science, known as Patient Zero, the first human being in history to undergo gene therapy specifically to reverse biological aging. Liz, so you are, I'm looking here, you are 55, am I correct?
Yep. I'm 55.
Biological age is what today?
It depends on the marker. So with the telomeres, it's really young. It's in the 20s. With the epigenetic age, it's probably like 33 now. And there are other markers of aging. The biological markers of aging are not my favorite. I think that the future human is going to register very differently than how we mark aging today. So, we continue, what the future human probably looks like is a lot of upregulation of regeneration. Basically that is faster than the degeneration over time. Low inflammation markers, we definitely show that across patients. Very low CRP values, and just a better stable metabolic process. So you know, metabolism is something we definitely need to affect to make people live healthier longer.
Liz, Johnny, before I get you back up here, Liz, I got to ask the tough question, and you know that's what I'm paid the big bucks to ask.
Sure.
Listen, critics would say that you're running an operation for the mega rich people to get on the airplanes, to fly off to international waters, to go and reach into their deep pockets to chase the unproven eternal youth. What do you say as the founder of your successful company? What do you say to that straight up to that critic who asked that question?
Well,
can I say something real quick just before you say something, Liz? You know, these are the same people that have that fucking bitch about everything else in the world they can't have.
Liz?
Well, I mean, I would say that the therapies are expensive, but I would also remind people that they're already, because of us, 1/8 of the price that they would ever be otherwise. We are driving those costs down. I'm working with several companies to make more affordable gene therapies so that everyone can access them. And we're the only company in the world not only to offer these therapies, but to get nonprofits behind us and get people treated for free. So we do try to meet the unmet need of people who could not otherwise afford these therapies. So a new nonprofit just went online. I don't have the name of it right in front of me. It's like the Global Health Foundation, and it actually asks for donations. And we've done this in the past with other nonprofits to get people treated who desperately need these therapies, and for free. For absolute free. So, I mean, I am here to create affordable therapies for the world. We will do it, but we have to do it by scale, and we need funding to do it.
But you know, it's wonderful. But remember, that person that's bitching, that means they have to get their fat asses off the couch, put the Cheetos down, and actually fill out a form on the internet, which will never happen. All they'll do is sit there and bitch.
I love it.
It is true. We definitely live in a victimized
Thank
society
you.
where people are not taking advantage of the things that they could do today. I mean, look, I've got two exceptional people that are in really great shape in front of me. A lot of people aren't. But, you know, if we had the ability to give them maybe, you know, for a gross obesity PGC1 alpha that would, you know, tear through a lot of that fat and upregulate their mitochondrial function, maybe they would feel more like getting off the couch. So, you know, I try to be a proponent of being as empathetic as possible to people who need therapeutic help.
Yeah, Liz, you're awesome, man. Liz, don't call me Cheryl Parrish. I'm loving this, dude. Johnny, I'm loving this, man. I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, I'm itching. I got a million questions and I'm like, I don't know where to go, but I got to go with this one for you. Johnny, you'll love this one. So, Liz, someone on Reddit once asked you what your favorite pizza topping was. And right after you just revealed that you were patient zero for the first anti-aging gene therapy in human history. And you said sun-dried tomatoes with the smiley face. So here's the big question, Anderson. Has your taste in pizza improved since you became biologically 25 again?
That's hold on. Somebody who likes fucking pepper on a pizza versus sun-dried tomato. Look at the rest of his life. Jesus Christ.
Come on, Liz. What's your answer?
Sun-dried tomatoes on pizza are fucking nails.
Come on, Anderson. Get out of here.
Done right. It is still, I would still stick with those. I would still stick with those.
Oh, Liz, you're awesome. Hey, so we got a question, Anderson, from our resident bullshit professor, Liz. I'd like to introduce you to Dr. John Petrocelli. John's one of the hosts here on our show here. He joins the show on Fridays. Petro is awesome, and he's got a question for you. And I'd actually encourage you guys to link up on LinkedIn. He's a professor of bullshit over at the University of, I think, down in the Carolinas out there. He's a wonderful dude. When might BioViva be publicly traded?
Oh my gosh, we have had a couple offers recently to be part of acquisitions of IPO type companies and companies that are already public, and it's pretty. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know that people want that.
Yeah.
But also being a private company gives us the ability to
Of
do
course.
the things that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
you can maneuver a lot better
Yes.
when you're not
we sure
answering to
can.
fucking to the,
Yeah.
all that.
Once we're a public company, we have to really adhere to the strong guidelines of the United States. And even though we do adhere to those now, it sort of takes our mobility away. And the reason we were able to do the first study in dementia, again, for free for patients,
Yeah.
in gene therapy, the reason we were able to treat myself, the reason that we were able to mobilize all these licensing deals were because we were not a publicly traded company.
What's your, I want to be respectful of your time. I know we're getting close to the top here. Do you have a little bit of freedom on time, or do you got a hard stop?
You guys, it's only 6 o'clock in the morning here. I don't schedule anything till 9 a.m.
Oh, so what you're saying is you got a little extra time for Keith and John.
I've got a little extra time for you.
So let me ask you this. What is your opinion on the other longevity experts out there, like the Peter Achas and that dude out there from California that's spending $1 billion to make his body young? And we have this whole longevity industry. And I joke with John because you got these 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds talking about living long. I'm like, dude, you haven't even lived anything. So how can you be promoting longevity? So as somebody who's in the industry, talking about it daily, promoting the benefits of it and teaching people, how comfortable are you offering an opinion on all the other people talking about this?
Well, I mean, I think that, you always have to be careful of influencers because they're basically trying to give you a lot of information, a lot. And the information in our space does not flow super fast. Research is slow. So, I mean, lifestyle is important. Look at you two. Lifestyle is important. It's a game changer to middle life, but it comes with diminishing returns as we age. So we really need to be in the space of gene therapy and bioelectric signals, the work of Michael Levin. This is the future of extended lifespan and health span. And so, they typically talk about diet and exercise. That's great. That'll only get you so far. Do not buy that's going to make an outlived person.
That's just the foundation for all this other shit to work.
It's the foundation. And so, definitely educate yourself in the world of genetics and what's happening in our space, because, this is where we want to optimize you, and we want to make it so that you are living a fulfilled life late into years, and see if we can actually break the bottleneck of lifespan. Why not?
Wow. Liz, last question.
Okay.
And I want you to really sit with this one, because I think this is a pretty big one, actually. You've spent the last decade doing some incredible work, trying to make sure that nobody has to die from aging. Yet within your own home, you have a beautiful son with type 1 diabetes.
That's right. That's my inspiration.
And he's the reason that you started all this. When you look at your son today, Liz, a young man living with the same disease that sent you down this rabbit hole, do you feel like you're keeping closer to keeping the promise you made to yourself in that hospital room, or you find yourselves further away than you thought you'd be?
I found it took longer, but we are creating in Switzerland the first pipeline to a patient's own cells, putting type 1 diabetes in remission. And it took all of these years to find the right doctors, the right research centers, and the GMP facilities that believed in me. So not only are we delivering on that, we have delivered on compassionate use manufacturing of gene therapies for other diseases that actually affect children, making them more affordable, more available. We've worked on a redosing patent that we've applied for now. We're going to help these gene therapy companies in the United States treat children more safely with the gene therapies that they have. And we're also delivering on creating a longer life for these kids once we get them cured. So my vision has never stopped. It actually took this long to meet the right people and build the right pipelines, have them believe in me and show me what capacity they had to do this. So sadly, things take a long time. We don't take care of each other the way that we need to, but we are opening up worlds in which we are going to do that now.
That's incredible. Johnny?
I think everything you're doing is great, and I think the naysayers, whatever they are, they're the ones that are complaining and bitching about everything. So I think just keep doing what you're doing. I love your compassion, but nothing is that guy that's doing what he's doing. He's got to make the choice to take the first step. All the compassion in the world is not going to fucking help that. But I think
I think that's the problem. We know now scientifically skeptics don't live as long. So, that's the sad truth. We need people to share good information. Skeptics shut people down because what they tell you is that I don't have to read. I don't have to learn about it if somebody says this might not be true. Go read a scientific paper. It's true. It's evident. We are slowing and reversing aging in animals all the time. We need to do it in humans. Science was made for humans. It was made for people, especially people who are sick. Let's use it and make a better world. And the skeptics can sit to the side because they don't want to do anything anyway.
Because at the end of the day, what they finally say, it won't work for me.
Yeah, well, it won't if you don't take it. That's for sure.
100%. It will never work when you're stuffing your face with fucking Cheetos.
That's right. True.
Hey, Liz, where can folks find you, connect with you? Good Time says in the comments, can we get some free samples? But where can folks find you, connect with you, engage with you?
Yeah, this is not a sample type scenario.
Yeah,
no, it's not a sample type scenario. So you can find us all over social media. bioviva-science.com is the company. We're on Facebook, X. You can find me. I'm not great at social media, but I'm great at posting papers. Just posted one this morning that will change your life.
Yeah.
So, mostly we do value added. We don't really pump ourselves up too much. We're constantly in stealth mode, but we do share what's happening in science. And if you want to read those papers and learn about them, it's absolutely amazing what's happening day to day. We have great.
No, I would love to have you back. I'd like to have you back on a more frequent basis. I think what you're doing is incredible work. I love the stuff Johnny's doing. John's my human experiment. He's always sharing stuff.
Look at him. He's the Incredible Hulk.
100%. That man's 54 years old. And
that's beautiful.
I'm going to be that same age next week. So we'd love to have you back. We'd love to have these conversations going. But I want to put something on the screen before you rock and roll out of here. Robert Hershevik, one of the Shark Tank guys, Dragon's Den guys, I found a really wonderful clip and I shared it with my crew yesterday, including my son. And I said, this is my life right now. And Liz, I think when you see this, it's probably been your life. And I'd like you to comment on this. Let's run this clip there, Kai.
Unbelievable amount of loneliness that you're going to face. There are going to be so many late nights. There are going to be so many people that don't believe in you. You have to have the ability to believe in yourself and just keep going.
Liz Parrish.
Absolutely true.
Isn't that true, isn't it?
And sometimes you don't tell your family for a while.
Well, so
because you don't want to freak them out.
I got to tell you something, Johnny. I think what we have to do is every second Tuesday we have a clinical sexologist on the show. Her name's Brianna Boss. I think we need to have Brianna and Liz and John on the show for one purpose only. So Brianna can talk to Liz and all of us about that whole experience of getting on the plane and going to Colombia and not telling her family she's going to go and make herself younger, because I can't imagine how that conversation went when you got back, because it wasn't just a one and done. So there, when you said my husband's very patient, like Liz, I'm telling man, that there's a lot to unpack there, I'm suspecting.
Yeah, well, he was pretty upset until I turned and I said to him, what are we going to show our children? Our son has type 1 diabetes. Do I just show him that we give up and we just bake cookies and take insulin, or do we go do something to change the world? And so that was it. He was sold. And, first he kind of had it at me for about 2 minutes, and then I turned and I said that, and it was over.
And then you said, no. And you said, and by the way, honey, I'm hot because I'm 20 years younger and I'm going to be hot younger for you, my man. So good for you. Liz, you're awesome. You're so inspiring. I love your mission. I love your purpose. And Johnny, I love the fact you got your rear end out of bed to come hang out with us this morning on an early morning in Seattle. So Liz, thank you for that. Honest to God.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you for that.
Have a great day, everyone. Good morning.
You too. Yes, good morning. Liz,
thank you, Liz.
Liz is out of here. We're going to do a lifestyle tip with Anderson and reset hour 2 this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Let's do it, guys.
Every morning when I see that little video of my pit bull Midas running around, that's what he looked like 5 years ago. Now he's a little aged. He's 10, but I'm gonna have to get him some gene therapy with Liz. Anyway, lifestyle tip. What are we going to talk about? Learned helplessness. What does that mean? It means we got a huge fucking problem with people hiding behind the I can'ts, hiding behind they don't believe that they can do shit, hiding behind their victims, hiding behind it. It's after COVID. It was literally just exploded. Now people just sit back and realize that this is the way it is. You know, they are the ones that always get the short end of the stick, and they've just accepted this idea, this victim mentality. But it's learned. It's a learned behavior. Again, learned helplessness. You don't have to be helpless, and you can shuck the lesson. Are you the person who believes he can, or are you the person who believes he can't? I've talked about that also. Well, here's the thing. Spend a few minutes doing a little self-analysis. Are you one of these people who's adapted this victim mentality because it's been such a massive movement post-COVID? If you're one of those people, you are missing out on life. So drop the shit. You know, I know that there are so many people out there that are on that bandwagon. It feels normal, and you probably don't even know you're doing it. But if you're here, it's because you want more. And if you have learned helplessness, if you are operating as a victim, the only one that can save you is you. Think about that. Rock and roll.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to hour 2. That was a fun first hour with Liz, don't call me Cheryl Parrish. Yes, we talked about some new evidence in the Kurt Cobain case, whether it's new, whether it's not, but they've opened it up. We had a little chat about that on the first hour of the show. And then Sophia Grant took us into center stage with Elizabeth Parrish, patient 0. Over 100 gene therapy injections in Colombia in an attempt to reverse biological aging. That was an awesome conversation with myself and John. I don't even know what to say, except go back and listen to it. I learned a lot. I sat back and listened, and I feel like I got a million more questions to ask. Hey, coming up, guys, how to stop reliving your past, the spilled milk rule for men, and then coming up at the bottom of the second hour, I get a monologue that I'm really excited to share with you guys coming up in about 30 minutes. But right now, we're going to get hour 2 started with myself and John Anderson with the deep dive, which is all about how to stop reliving your past, the spilled milk rule. Let's get it. Hour 2 starts right now.
You keep replaying that screw up. That's not reflection. That's your brain avoiding the next move. You call it accountability, but it's just a loop. You feel pain, then you freeze.
Spilled milk doesn't need a speech. It needs a towel. Your past is the same.
Feel the regret, then name the lesson out loud. If you can't name it, you're just bleeding.
You keep asking, what if I didn't? That question never builds today. It only rebuilds shame. Trade what if for what now. Write one sentence. Do one action before your brain starts negotiating.
Deep dive is the spilled milk rule. Clean it, learn it, move. Your future doesn't need your permission.
That's a good tune. I like that. Hey, so what do you guys think of the conversation with Liz Parrish? Are y'all running out for some gene therapy? Or are y'all just kind of, you know, does it make you curious? Petro, does it make you curious? Good times to make you curious? I know it makes my beautiful wife curious. I suspect for the next few days I'm going to be hearing about, we should be talking about gene therapy. We should go looking at gene therapy. I'm curious about this. I love my wife because she's all about, I get something in my mind and I get after it. Right now she's becoming a strong woman. So I'm wondering if we're going to be talking about gene therapy in the coming days around this house. What a great conversation with Liz Parrish. All right, we're going to get into how to stop reliving your past and not crying over spilt milk. And in many ways, I think it kind of relates to this because, you know, it's Petro. I'm intrigued too, man. So here's where my intrigue Here's where the confusion of my intrigue rolls, though, right? Is that, I was raised in the Western medicine world. So, I'm trying to undo all these beliefs that I was taught. And I'm not suggesting that I'm not open to them. That's not it at all. I'm just extremely curious. And I got so many questions. I'm eager to get into the conversation with Anderson. I see him sitting back there, but let's bring Johnny back up on stage there, Kai, as we get into the conversation about how to stop reliving your past. So, John, I got to tell you, man, my brain is I'm super intrigued right now by that conversation with Liz.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally see how it would be. I mean, shit, it's interesting stuff. There's no question about it.
And do you? So, I know you are very much into this. Trying to, constantly helping yourself live better, live longer, taking care of your body, et cetera, et cetera. Do you run to some of these conversations with curiosity, or do you know enough? Not enough. That's not right to put it. But you mentioned like some of you mentioned therapy and curious about things. Why have you not? Is it purely a cost thing?
Well, you got to kind of become one with what you're doing.
Okay.
I heard this works fucking great.
Yeah.
But in some people, they'll hear it works great and they'll go fucking do it. And there's a lot of people that do that. And then 10 years later, oh, Jesus, there was something we really didn't consider about this.
Without
I'm blurry. I think I'm blurry.
A little bit there, yeah. It's probably easy to speculate. And I just want to bullshit with you for a second. It's probably easy to speculate that some of the world's wealthiest humans maybe have gone down that path, right? Maybe because you have the money to. Why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you? Frankly, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't I?
Well, I mean, I guess you just got to kind of decide. I mean, it's like like in my experimenting.
Yes.
There has to be a time. I've got to look far enough back to understand that there's a level of time for me to register and feel comfortable with, okay, what's coming out of this? Because what you see in the front, what you see, say, after year 1 versus year 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a big fucking difference.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And so, some of this stuff that, like stem cells, perfect example. Yeah. So many of my buddies have done it.
Right? Is that right, eh? Yeah.
Tons of them. Tons. And I mean, granted, back when I was competing, I may have been a little bit more hasty to do it because in those days you're so ready to do whatever it takes, but the flip side is you're still trying to figure out, okay, how does this really work? Like I need to have enough of an idea of the mechanism.
Yes.
That I'm comfortable with. Well, the mechanism of a stem cell, it really comes down to relying on what kind of cells are you getting put in you.
So yeah, I wanted to go here with you, right? Because you talked
just like a peptide.
Yes.
When I first started off in that world, way back when.
Yes.
It was a cult back then. It was very uninterrupted by people trying to make money. That makes sense?
100%. Yeah. There's no. Yes.
Then as soon as the profitability came in, all of a sudden it's like, holy shit! Now. What is it? Where's it coming from? How do we know it's good? That's why I had to kind of pull away. I need to know enough about what I'm doing that I'm not just fucking blindly doing some dumb shit.
Of course. But I want to stay on stem cell therapy with you. So dumb it down for me for a quick second, because you made a comment to Liz, don't call me Cheryl Parrish. You made a comment about the umbilical cord and so for example, if you're doing stem cell therapy, you're taking your own stem cells and re-injecting that. I'm trying to simplify and dumb it down. Like that's how it works.
Well, you're not taking your own, you're taking somebody else's.
Healthier stem cells, right?
They're supposed to be.
That's what I mean. So, like
if their umbilical cord, that means that they really haven't, they're kind of undecided, if you will, undeveloped. Yes. But they don't last as long, but then are they really all that they're supposed to be?
So again, and forgive me, so I'm going dumb here. So when you do stem cell therapy, like you said, your buddies, like you're taking stem cells from another healthier human and injecting them in yourself. Is that how it works?
Yeah, you're not injecting them.
But it's being put,
fucking hundreds of millions of these things put in you.
Yes.
Because when you go to that's part of the problem in America. It's real expensive and they limit how much you can use. Other places, you can get, because it takes a shitload. You're going to put some here, some there, some, you put them, they're going to go everywhere, but they're going to attack the areas that are, I should say, attack in a good way, the areas that need help.
Really? Yeah. So you made a comment there that stuck to me, which was, I don't want to have somebody else's dumb shit put into me because I become them. So that right?
That's just being like kind of fruity.
I know, I know, but there's a point to that though, because what you're saying, for example, me, like, I don't want Billis' stem cells because he's made some dumbass decisions over his life and they might not be as healthy as I want them to be. That's kind of what you're saying though, right? Basically.
To a certain extent, yeah, to a certain extent. And then I think the other thing is that I've seen some of my buddies that I know really well, and they got it. And then first off, you're supposed to like take a long time off afterwards, off of training. You got to let these things, because they're going to go get inflamed areas. Well, every time you train, you create inflammation.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. But then what I also didn't like was I saw a big change in my friends, but it didn't seem like it really lasted that long.
Interesting. Really, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it would kind of like massive difference up front, but then it would all kind of fall apart again.
Fascinating, man. Just as fascinating to me. You heard, I know you heard me when I was talking, when I was just doing the segue there. Where I struggle with it, and I'm sure there's a lot of dudes in our demographic, John, is reprogramming how we were raised. The Western medicine subscription model, right? Then you have all these curious questions going out there without, and I don't want to suggest, but without anything proof about them. That's not what I'm saying, but it just opens up so many questions that I don't have answers to, right? And I want to know more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean by that, right?
But I think that I think the biggest problem with most people is they don't give the body enough credit. The body will heal itself.
Yes.
So the question you have to ask yourself is, did I fuck myself up too bad that the body won't heal itself? The body will literally, perfect example, if you cracked your forearm, just like a fracture, but it didn't do this, right?
Yes.
It was just a crack. And you were smart enough to let it heal, not to fucking bang it around. So they put a cast on you because they know most people aren't fucking smart enough.
Yes.
And not put pressure on it. 6 weeks is what it takes. If you were just smart enough to let the body heal, you wouldn't need the cast. You wouldn't need any of it. Right?
Of course. Yeah.
I mean, you get fucking sick and you get fucking better in 99% of the cases.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You go to the fucking doctor and he tells you, go home and fucking rest. So the way I look at Western medicine is this: I get in a car wreck, I'm all fucked up and I'm unconscious. I need Western medicine, right? I need a surgery. I need Western medicine. Everything in between, I'm going to see if the body can do it by itself. I'm going to give the body its chance.
I love how you just simplify shit, dude. I just fucking love how you just super simplify it. Break it.
How many times my fucking daughters, because they have, we're mixed. So
yeah.
Parents involved. Oh, you need to go to the doctor. And I said, look, if you want to, I'm not going to tell you to go against your other parent.
Yes.
This is what he's going to say.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah,
and then after about the 10th time, they're like, fuck, Dad, how do you know? Because it's so fucking predictable.
Yeah, well, I'm to the point where I get some of those same comments myself. What I've learned, but just by spending time with you, and especially through our guests, and one still comes to me, like Don Mann last week, like it's like, well, I'm not going to die. And you said it, my body's just going to shut down and go to sleep, right? And then when it's awake again, it's going to get up, because to your point, the body is a brilliant machine. You got to do a lot to kill the body. And then we saw that guy jump off the fucking building onto that thing yesterday. And I look at all the wrestling guys we talk about nonstop, but what they do to their body, nobody's dying. And I'm not trying to make light of it, but you're so correct when you say that the machine that we have is so powerful, right? Yet we rush to the doctor so much for Western medicine, John, to get the subscription.
Well, it was because we're number one, we're fucking clueless to how it works. We were explained, if you have a problem, go to the doctor, because that's basically, we're programmed to get into the subscription model.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
If we were programmed, hey, you know, most cases you're not going to need the doctor. Where would Big Pharma be now?
Oh, I know. I wonder, Anderson, if over time, I'm just again spitting with you right now because I'm enjoying this conversation with you. I wonder if over time we're going to see the influence of Big Pharma move down, and we're going to have influence of more like Liz's companies move up, where more of the gene therapy, the stem cell therapy.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Tell me. Yeah.
The people that actually are committed to taking care of themselves are going to lean towards Liz. The people that don't want to take care of themselves are going to keep fucking taking the pills.
So then is that your continued prediction?
Upper and lower class. Lower class doesn't. Dude, when was the last time you saw a fucking billionaire smoke? He's too smart for that.
Yeah.
Every fucking dickweed on the planet that fucking goes to a job they can't fucking stand is getting a pack of cigarettes on the way to work.
Yeah.
All of this shit is a clear separator of upper and lower. People live their lives like live like you're an upper class person. I mean, stop doing all the fucking stupid shit. I mean, look at the highly successful people. Do they fucking drink? No. Do they do drugs? No. They fucking do things to constantly better themselves in every way that they can. That's upper class.
And it's funny, John, because Charlie, Good Time says, and if we leave the doctor without a prescription, humans are programmed that it was a waste of time. Like really, right to your point, which is, yeah, but the doctor was supposed to fix me. And I love my mom to pieces, but my mom is, love you, mom. My mom is a wonderful example of, I'm going to go to the doctor because he's going to tell me something. Like, no, the doctor's not going to tell you anything that I can tell you right now. Like I can predict what the doctor's going to tell you. Like, so, and there's a generation of folks that we know that have been raised to wait for that, right? So, which is having the doctor tell them, right?
And by all means, everybody understands there's some cases, there's a big question mark. Go to the fucking doctor, get a fucking scan, go get a blood test. I'm not saying don't.
I understand.
I'm saying turn a fucking blind eye to that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you got to understand the difference between, the body, I mean, if the body's able to heal itself, let it do its thing.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, Anderson, before you go, I want to bring Cheryl just wrapped up her second episode. Let's bring her in to say hello. I told her to come. We should make this a Wednesday. Have it come say hi. Let's bring Cheryl Whitaker up on the stage. What's going on there, Whitaker?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you? Hi, Keith. Hi, John.
Did you suck a little less today?
Oh, I sucked so much less today.
And see how nice that is?
I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm not going anywhere near that one. I'm just
listen, I suck a little less every day too.
And I'm not touching that one either, Whitaker. I'm going to go.
I think it needs to be on a t-shirt somewhere.
The difference is Keith sucks a little more every day.
Well, Anderson, you didn't even
not at this show. He just sucks at other shit.
Well, and Johnny and Cheryl had her husband on today's show too, so yes. I can only imagine that was a good, fun conversation. How did it go? Was it good?
It was amazing. It was really, it was great. We had a great time. I was nervous. I had all that nervous energy, beginning and everything, but it shook out. So it was great. I'm looking forward to your feedback, of course. Handsome Chief.
So we have a guest for you. John and Keith just spent some time this morning with Liz. Don't call me Cheryl Parrish, a gene therapy expert. It was fascinating conversation about staying young, and it was really good. It was really good. It was a lot of fun.
I love that. I'm gonna have to catch it.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Yeah. Hey, before we walk John out of the show here, and I'd like to stick around with you for a couple minutes, Cheryl. Sure. Hey, so on February of 1976, do you guys remember the $6 Million Man, John Anderson? Do you remember this guy?
I do remember him.
Yeah, check this out. So
Lee Majors, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lee Majors, man. And then look at this one here. And Cheryl, do you remember this show? Do you remember growing up? Of course you do. Yeah. So I got something funny, but so check this out. We have Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man, and Andre the Giant, famously appearing on the show. And John, I remember this because there was nobody like Andre the Giant, and they dressed him up like a Bigfoot. He was Bigfoot on the show. So it's like because there was only so many roles for Andre the Giant at the time, but they don't make shows like that anymore, do they?
No, I love that show.
They absolutely don't. They absolutely don't. Oh, this is funny. Hey, John, before you go.
Hey, John, before you go, we need to file a champagne incident report.
3 women, 1 kitchen, 0 plan. They twist, they shake, they negotiate. The bottle refuses.
Then one girl uses the mystery hand trick. She does a weird grip move, and the cork pop. Foam attacks like a sprinkler.
That's what happens without a designated opener. Give the job to one calm buddy. Everyone else stands back. Hey, John, bring a designated opener. Hands classy, angle smarter. If the bottle wins again, that report has your name.
Maybe it's great that we have Whitaker on the show. Johnny's starting with you.
I'm very curious if it actually worked. Did that actually work?
I don't know. I don't know if it was a gimmick or if it was for the video itself. But the way they made it look is that it looked like it worked. Cheryl, have you opened a champagne bottle like that before?
No, sir. No, I have not. First of all, I really love champagne and Prosecco, so I would never do that because I'm not wasting my bubbles.
Well, you can see she checked the top. She was trying to get it loose, and then ultimately, when they're doing this to it, it's kind of like giving it a little shake. It's slowly making pressure.
Yeah.
Bubbles.
Yeah. No innuendo at all in that situation. No innuendo at all. Yeah, as Good Time says, yes, that's practice. Exactly. Johnny,
and listen, when they got me riding a fucking elephant, they got a fucking switch in my hand like I'm getting ready to fucking race a horse. What is wrong with these people? You don't fucking hit an elephant with a switch, for God's sake.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Johnny, what are you doing today, man? No pickleball today for you?
No, fuck. I'm gonna hopefully go to the gym. I got to see, how I feel. I'm going to film with Ben, take a nap. I'm hoping that a little more rest will help this thing, my mobility. So that's the scoop. It's got to kind of just listen and see what body gives me today.
Nicely done.
I feel good.
Nicely done. All right, Anderson, a lot of fun with you today. As always, Cheryl, stick around. Johnny, lots of love, brother. You enjoy your day today, pal.
You got it. Have a great loop, guys. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Johnny's out of here, guys. Good morning. You're hanging out with Keith and Cheryl this morning on Mornings Are Live with Keith, John, and friends. I want to stick around and catch up with Whitaker for a few minutes. So how did it go? So here's what we're going to do. So typically we do like a post-show meeting, like a one-on-one meeting, but let's just do it on the show here. How did it go? I saw the comment from Dwayne is like, Cheryl rocked. I see the content from our team. You rocked. How was your second episode? Are you calling me later going, I want to go every day. I want to go 2 hours a day, or what are you doing now?
Oh my God. Well, like I said to you last night, the butterflies were less this time than last week, but the butterflies was still there, right? So just getting that, getting out my jitters and everything and getting into a groove and the flow and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So just like behind the scenes stuff, I'm going to be looking at the replay and seeing how I think it went.
Awesome.
But I had a blast doing it. So
did you have any technical difficulties this time?
not that I can see.
Nice.
Not that I can see.
And because I know that you are a hockey expert, I know it's your favorite sport ever, and I know you're so relentless at watching it nonstop. I'm really curious to know how that conversation went today.
It went great, but you'll see something about Canada.
Oh, shush! Don't even go to
eggs in Canada. Geese in Canada, Canadian geese.
Oh, you guys, I got to tell you. So I was putting together Cheryl's second topic yesterday, and it was a hockey one. And I'm like, I don't think Cheryl's a big hockey fan, but she can blame it all on me. So it was Canada-U.S. Olympic female hockey, and female hockey is so good. So it was fun to see Cheryl.
It was fun to talk about, but I just loved it. I loved it because I was like, oh shoot, if Keith had known that Canada was going to get the goose,
thank you.
Would have topic.
Hey, because I know he's not listening. How did hubby Dwayne perform as your first guest?
As my first guest, he was amazing. He was amazing. Like he's a talkative guy. I mean, that's just who he is, and so he was really just making sure that he didn't over talk. But I mean, it was like we just had a great time. So hope everybody checks it out. It was a great conversation.
Did you learn something from Dwayne that you didn't learn before the show?
Yes.
Oh, you did.
I did. I asked him because I've known he's a people pleaser. I am, etc. And I always assumed I just assumed it was because of his time in service,
Yeah.
and law enforcement. Yeah. But I decided to ask him, "Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right? Is that the reason why you're right?" And I wasn't right, Keith.
Oh,
I wasn't right. That's not the reason why he's a people pleaser.
Whoa! So don't tell me. I'm gonna go back and because you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to my gym today. I'm gonna get a little lift in. I'm gonna put you on the screen and I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be all excited about it. So, that's awesome. And did you have any surprises on today's show?
Sophia.
Oh, what?
Sophia.
What?
Sophia Grant.
Melissa.
I know you're listening, and I sent it to No Team in Rome, but girl, you are a freaking genius. I
might have known something was cooking. I had maybe a sense that something was. I had maybe a sense something was cooking behind the scenes for you there. So that's awesome.
Sterling was in my open there. Sterling came in.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
I just love it. I love it.
So I'll tell you something I love. You're gonna love this too. So I giggle because you and Dwayne did the show together today. So our guest Liz. So I'm gonna paraphrase it, but one day she gets up, gets on an airplane, goes down to Colombia for some experimental gene therapy. Doesn't tell her husband or her kids until she gets back. Yes, right. What? Yeah, right. And it wasn't right away. I think it was like a couple months later. It was like, yeah, I remember that trip I went on to. And what a wonderful conversation, because it's just stuff that I'm curious about, the stem cell stuff and anti-aging and longevity, right? And the courage that her son, type 1 diabetic, and her mission was, I want to go and help solve this. Like her whole purpose in life is to find a solution for what's ailing her son. And I asked the question, I'm like, why? She goes, well, is the opposite telling my son that we sit back? I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's the opposite approach to teach our kids that we can't do nothing about it. We're gonna go bake cookies in the kitchen and do kumbaya. She goes, no, I want to teach kids that we can go and change the world by doing stuff, right? So inspiring. You guys, I'm going to introduce you guys because you got to get her on the show. 100%.
Oh, I would absolutely love to. I'd be honored to have her.
Yeah.
On the show for sure. Woo! I love that. I can't wait to see.
Yeah. Hey, so what are we doing for week 3 with you?
Well, I have no idea. But I'll tell you one thing though.
Tell me.
So my guest for next week, his name is Sam Vinci. He is a huge general contractor in this area. He's a builder, entrepreneur. Yeah. And he is a brother from another mother for me. And
nice.
And we, he's just he has a story to share, and I'm really looking forward to having him on the show.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I
got to tell you something that's funny too. So I was on the bike this morning doing my thing and getting ready for the show. And I was like, okay, so looking forward to hanging out with you. I'm like, okay, we'll see Cheryl. And then I was like, wait a minute. No, her show doesn't start till 8:30. She's not gonna be done until like 9:50, 9:20. So I'm thinking, because I was like, where the hell's Whitaker? I'm like, oh right, her show. I was just like, yeah. I was like, where is she?
Yes. And now, thanks to you gave me some extra time, all right, on a network. So it was about, I'd say maybe like 47 minutes.
Nice.
Or so, somewhere around there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It looks good. Thank you so much, Keith.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm certainly enjoying this. Hey, listen, I have a wonderful monologue. I invite you to stick around. I was sitting back last night and we'll stick around to listen to it. I should say, we'll get you off screen for that. But I was going to say that I invite you to listen to it. I was, when I first started doing the show and hanging out with John, and people would ask me, like, why do you do this? And I'm like, well, I got to wake up anyways. And I'm up anyways. And people are like, so you can do this for the rest of your life? And I'm like, well, I wake up anyways. So like, why wouldn't I grab a coffee and go and do that? And John kept saying to me, no, you get to. And it really reframed me as, wow, I get to do some really cool things. And I really lean into gratitude. Yeah. So on my monologue this morning, I've titled it, I Get To. And I thought it would be a reintroduction to me. Some folks don't know me. Some folks are new to me, new to my story. So my monologue today is titled I Get To, and it's actually all about my story as a reintroduction monologue to who Keith Billis is around the idea of I get to and leaning into gratitude. So I'm excited.
I love that. And by the way, Dwayne and I, we hold each other accountable for that every single day. I get to, whenever we say I've got to, all the time.
Yes.
get to. So I'm looking forward to your monologue.
Thank you. Yeah, I was, it's funny because before you and I hung out for a couple minutes yesterday, I was downstairs doing some stretching and I was looking at the clock and thinking about time. And I'm like, no, I get to do this right now. And it's such an incredible reframing of a mindset, isn't it, Cheryl? I know it sounds so fluffy, but it's fucking powerful.
It is extremely powerful. It is actually the last thing I said as I was watching the timer go down to live, right, this morning.
Yeah.
I just said a little prayer and I just thanked my dad.
Yeah.
Thanked him and said, thank you for allowing me to do this. I get to do this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's such because and it hurts when you realize that not many people do get to, and that's when you really lean into what we are fortunate to be able to do, right? So yeah. Hey, quick couple comments from me if you don't mind. So, hey, good time. No, I won't ban you again. I promise I won't. Two quick things. Hey, we opened up the show today. You grew up in the same era I did. They have opened up the Kurt Cobain case. Maybe it's murder. Maybe it's not murder. That's and it's just one of those things that's like, wow. I never thought I'd be talking about it in 2026 and Anderson put it on the table. Well, he's like, maybe there's new tools that weren't available 20 years ago, which encouraged folks to look into it. So fascinating to me that we're actually having this conversation so many years later after the young man passed of alleged suicide, but now some are suggesting it wasn't. So
wow.
Yeah. And then John and I also touched on the tragedy. Still, you and I took a little bit just the Guthrie case, right? It's still hanging out there, and that's a struggle, man. That's an actual struggle, and I just. Every day it goes by, I my optimism does not continue.
I know. I watched the video yesterday, and I was like, and I actually paused it and stared in the eyes of.
Me too.
You did the same thing?
Me too, because you're trying. So what were you going through when you were staring at the eyes of that human?
One, I was like trying to say, like, dude, like, where did your soul go wrong? What are you doing?
Yes.
Taking this poor innocent woman. Like, my mom's gonna be Mom. My mom's gonna be 84.
Yes.
In another month or so.
Yes.
I can't imagine. There's medicine that she needs.
Yes.
There's help that she needs. She's strong, but I can't imagine what that family is going through, not knowing where she is and what she's going through right now. I can't think about her. And what is she going through? We have no idea what kind of condition she's in. We know nothing, and it's killing me.
You know what kills me is speaking about our moms, and I talked about this a few months ago on the show, where sometimes when we get into traffic and we're driving, all of us humans are guilty of this. I don't care what anybody says. And sometimes we get frustrated about somebody in front of us or next to us, and we cuss or we get all frustrated. And I've been guilty of it. You get frustrated, then you drive by the person, and it's your mom. I'm using it as a metaphor. And I'm like, oh my God. Because if there was some dude doing that to my mom,
yeah, you want to kick their ass, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? I always, because I think mom's the greatest gift that we all have. I teach my kids, you respect your mother. Your mother is the mom, the matriarch, the mom, right? So, that's where this Guthrie thing gets me. But I just think when we're driving sometimes and you get frustrated with some old woman in front of you, no, that's actually your mom. Slow down. Oh, right.
Yeah, slow down. And let me tell you, we got two mommies in this house, right? My mom and then Dwayne's mom, who's 88.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a conversation.
Yep. And it's cool. It is cool. We all get along, and the doggy, as you know, and Bella. So
That's awesome. Whitaker, I appreciate you. I love you. A lot of respect. So much fun, man. So much fun. I'm really enjoying our friendship, and I'm enjoying the work you're putting out there. You enjoy your day. We'll catch up along the way.
We will catch up. We know for sure. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, nation.
All right. See you later. Whitaker's out of here, guys. Kai, let's go to the morning focus. I get to coming up right now.
You woke up heavy. You told yourself you have to show up. That's how resentment starts.
Stop saying you have to. Say you get to. Your life isn't a sentence.
It's a choice.
Your past calls you weak. It lists every quit.
We're here to change the narrative of that list.
Regret can talk.
It can't drive.
Take the lesson, then take the step, even shaky.
So it's gratitude with teeth. You get to build, not perform. You get to lead real people, starting here.
You don't need motivation. You need ownership. You don't have to be here. You get to, so choose.
I get to. Not I have to. Not that I need to. And not I'm stuck with. I get to. And if you're new here, the one phrase is basically the quickest way to understand who I am. I get to. Without me handing you some polished LinkedIn safe bio that sounds like it was written by some committee with no pulse, just a bunch of words for Billis made by some AI. It's like, oh yeah, here he is. No, I get to. Because the truth is, I wasn't built in comfort. No, not Husky Keith. I was built in contrast, actually. I get to be the kid from Winnipeg who grew up carrying more weight than he probably should have, physically and mentally, walking around with that nickname that pretended it was funny. Love you, Mom, but no, I didn't like being called Husky. Quietly taught me how brutal humans can be and how brutal we can be to ourselves. And listen, I get to be the guy who learned early that you can be fine on the outside and still be negotiating a war. Fuck, it happens daily inside your head. I get to be the teenager who quit hockey at 16, destroyed my dad. Yeah, true story. And I did the thing you're not supposed to do. And I get to remember what it feels like when you disappoint the people that you love. Oh yeah, I did that too. And I still choose my own life anyway, because I get to. And I get to be the version of me who chased validation like it was oxygen. Not because I was shallow, because I was hungry, like I'm hungry today. Hungry to prove that I mattered. Hungry to prove that I was enough. I get to be the guy who grew up selling copiers for Xerox, who sold cell phones with Rogers Cantel. I get to be the guy who worked normal jobs while carrying abnormal, or some would say overachieving, ambition. No, don't call me an overachiever, because that's an insult. I get to be the entrepreneur who bet on the internet when most people didn't believe in me. And most people were laughing at everything that I was doing. I get to be the co-founder who built an incredible social media company called ICUC into a global leader in social media management that still exists today, employing hundreds and hundreds of people. And we did that by moderating and managing thousands and thousands of hours, watching human behavior at scale, watching what gets rewarded, watching what gets punished, and watching what gets distorted, and realizing that all that was a big lie. The lie of social media, the lie that reaches equal influence, that attention equals impact, that numbers equal meaning. And I get to be the guy who had the audience and deleted it. Yeah, I became a ghost. And yeah, I burned the thing that everyone's chasing, influence. I did it back in the early 2000s because I saw what it was doing to the people that were close to me. I saw what it was doing to me. I saw what it was doing to my son. And I decided I'm not here to win the internet. I'm here to build something the internet forgot how to make today, which is real trust in real time with real humans. And I get to be the guy who stayed on for 10 more years at ICUC after an exit, because building, in my experience, doesn't end when you get paid. No. Building ends when you stop caring. And I get to be someone who's made money and still had to learn, and I still learn today, how to be happy. And if that sentence hits you in the chest, good. Because it means you're awake. And if you didn't hear it, let me say it again, because I get to be the guy who's made some money, and I still, to this day, am learning how to be happy. I also get to be the guy who spent thousands and thousands of dollars and hours in therapy, who stopped performing, who stopped pretending tough was a personality. And I get to be the one who learned that leadership isn't confidence. It's actually courage with your name on it. Think about that. I get to be the dad building things my kids can't fully see yet, because that's what vision is. Vision is construction in the dark. It's betting on a future while everyone else demands proof in the present. And I know for sure that Liz Parrish can relate to that, our guest from today's show. And I get to be obsessed, not with the fame, but with the craft. And I get to be building mornings in the lab, not as a show, but yes, I'll say it as a rebellion, because the world is drowning in content and starving for the connection that we create daily on the show. So what do? We built a place that's the opposite of the algorithm, a place where we don't worship perfection. We don't reward fake certainty. We don't trade humanity for clicks, because we got one rule here in the lab, and it is simple. Humans first. Always. Especially when it's messy. And I get to build a live network that blends humans and real synthetic characters. Yeah, I said real synthetic characters, not to replace people, but to amplify the stories and make the conversation impossible to ignore. And I get to be the guy building the future while most people still recycle the past. Now, here's where it gets fun and interesting, because I get to be the guy I get to be the guy who's building that future. And if you're looking for a guru, if you're here looking for a guru, I'll tell you right now, G-U-R-U. If you're here looking for a guru, wrong room. And if you're looking here for a safe, little motivated quote, you're also in the wrong room. And if you're here to stay asleep, hit snooze on your life and call it balance, you continue to be in the wrong room. But if you're here because something inside you is tired of drifting, and if you're here because you're done successful and it still didn't feel like enough, you're in the right room. And if you're here because you're ready to turn your experience into influence, conversations, and revenue without chasing vanity metrics, you're in the right room. And if you're here because you want to get stronger, you want to get stronger mentally, physically, spiritually, professionally. If you're here for all those reasons, then welcome. Because I get to do this. I get to lead this conversation, and I get to build this with all of you. And you don't have to be here. You get to. You choose to. And for that, I get to thank you.
Fellas, you ever notice how you can be insanely capable and still stall on the one thing that matters most? It's never the task. It's the story you attach to the result. One bad rep, and suddenly you are a failure. Today's Community Corner is 3 quick hits to break that spell. A creator who stops treating his work like a verdict. A sharp take on brilliance that can either connect or control. And a reminder that later is where family time goes to die.
I get to thank you all for hanging out with me every morning. Good time. I get to thank you for hanging out with me every morning, Adam Holward. I get to thank you for hanging out with me every morning, Mike Sullivan. For that, I'm so fucking grateful. Yeah. Hey guys, we're starting our Community Corner with Maya Reyes over in Community Corner over on YouTube. Josh Zuba says, your brain prefers scrolling over creating. Josh talks about how constant consumption just doesn't waste your time. It changes the cost of effort in your brain. Yeah. We got a good scrolling piece actually sitting in the files that we'll pull up on the stage here in the next couple of days. When content is endless, and it's actually fascinating because they're looking at banning. True story. They're thinking about banning endless scrolling because of what it does to our mind. There's discussion around, should we be banning endless scrolling? Maybe or putting the cigarette warnings. But Josh says that's why sitting down to write, build, or think feels heavier than it should. Nothing is wrong with you. Your brain has simply learned what effort is optional. And Suba's suggestion is to remove stimulation long enough for curiosity to come back on its own. Not scrolling, no background noise. Let the discomfort sit. One curiosity return stops feels like discipline and start feeling like relief. The takeaway here, it hits hard in a time where cheap dopamine hits are so readily available. Listen, here's the reality. If you never let your brain get bored, you're never going to want to create. Think about that for a second. So maybe it's time to put that scrolling down, put the background noise down, let the discomfort sit, and sit back and learn how to create. I appreciate you, Dwayne. Dwayne Whitaker joining me here in the comments. Substack, when tracking replaces judgment, Emily Delaney. Well, she says she's calling out a pattern most disciplined humans fall into without noticing. Yeah, so I like this one. Tracking. Yeah. Oh, yeah. To all of his neurotic trackers out there, I've been one of them. True story. Yeah. So instead of asking, I'm hungry, you check an app. No, but the app didn't say I was hungry yet. Think about that. Because tracking works early because it creates that structure. But over time, that constant tracking trains you to defer decisions. Instead of noticing fatigue, you wait for the metric. You wait to see what the watch tells you. Yeah. And instead of adjusting intelligently, you simply look at the numbers. Oh, but it's 50 kilometers an hour on the speed sign. It's raining outside, but I'm still supposed to go 50. Oh, wait a minute. Is that an intelligent decision? Wow, listen, psychologically, this weakens the internal feedback loops, the confidence. It always becomes conditional because, well, I'm not hungry yet because the app didn't say I was. And I'm not really tired because I got that metric that I haven't met. Then what also happens that the discipline that you're trying to create, what actually happens, it turns into compliance. And that health stops being a lived skill, becoming a performance score. So Delaney doesn't advocate that we abandon the structure, but she warns against outsourcing our judgment entirely. Think about this, you guys. I love this. Discipline is supposed to build, here's the key word, autonomy. But Keith, there's no structure in autonomy. No, but that's the point. Discipline is supposed to create and build autonomy. And if your system makes you anxious without it, well, then you actually haven't created discipline. Think about it. Think about that for a second. What you've actually created, let me clear my throat. You've created dependence. That's not discipline. So before you run down the world of track, ask yourself, are you creating discipline or are you creating dependence? It's a fine line. All right, let's keep it going, guys. In the community corner this morning over on LinkedIn, how complaining trains your brain. I wish Anderson was here for this one. In a LinkedIn post, Marilia Hunter breaks down why complaining changes how life feels. She explains how complaining activates your brain's threat detection circuits, and that repetition sharpens the pathway. Think about this, you guys. If we constantly complain, we're constantly going to feel like we're complaining. Because then the brain gets faster at spotting problems and complaints and risks and unfairness. It's not spending any time searching for the positivity. It's spending all of its time focusing on the negative shit. What happens? Your stress rises, your focus narrows, and the small issues take up more space than they should. It's like the conversation I had with my team yesterday. Let's not focus on what we can't achieve. There's no benefit in saying, yeah, but it was never done this way. Or it's going to take me an hour to do this. No, your brain has already accepted what the limitations are. Perhaps if we spend more time creating what the limitations aren't, we perhaps could achieve things that we never thought was imaginable. But our brain says, well, you haven't done it before, so you're not going to do it right now. And then you accept that. That's how we become complainers. So what Delaney says is catch yourself in the act of complaining and say it out loud. Create that awareness. I'm complaining right now. I'm going to stop it. And the moment you do that, it creates this awareness in your brain where you pause, bringing the thinking back online and let you direct some action or boundaries, training a different response pattern. I talked about it with Johnny. React or respond. respond or react. So here's this. The bottom line is this. The way you talk about problems teaches your brain how hard life feels. So think about this before we wrap this segment up. If you're constantly talking about problems, your brain's going to keep thinking about problems. If you keep thinking about solutions, what's your brain going to do, guys? Your brain's going to be thinking about how to solve those solutions. Maya Reyes, walk me out of the community corner so we can wrap up today's show in the big show of Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends.
So, Nation, when you all wait until you're ready, who benefits from that? You or your fear? Because fear loves two tricks. It makes your work feel like a verdict, it makes your brilliance feel like a weapon, and it makes your family feel like something you can get back to later. So check yourself today. Where are you chasing being impressive instead of being present? And what would change if you treated the next rep as practice, not proof?
Guys, thanks for spending another morning with us. So grateful. Here's a recap of what we got into today. Deep dive, the spilled milk rule for men. We talked about the weight of the past. Failed. We had a good conversation with Liz Parrish today on the show as well. And we got into, let's see here. Yes. All right. So listen. We're just going to change some gears here. I think our outro is a little bit dated here. So, hey, Mike Sullivan, I have a friend who has adult muscular dystrophy. So I think on her to remind me, I get it. She does a lot of nature outings and is heroin to me. So I have a friend who has adult muscular dystrophy. Yes. So I think on her to remind me that I get to. Yes, Sully. Yes, man. That I get to is a real reframing, man. She does a lot of nature outings and is a heroin to me. Yes, helps to avoid complaining. Dude, I'm with you, man. The moment we lean into I get to is the quick moment we realize that there's nothing to complain about, right? I'm off to a funeral tomorrow. And not to say that to look for sympathy, I offer it up because it reminds me that there are people who don't get to. And if we can constantly lean into what we are grateful for and what we get to do, I think it really can change everything in our life. Guys, coming up on tomorrow's show, Keith and John are getting back after it in less than 22 hours. Where? Right here on the Mornings in the Lab live network. morningsinthelab.network, morningsinthelab.live. Hey guys, if you haven't checked into the show, go check in. I invite you to go check in. Open up your Mornings in the Lab app and morningsinthelab.live and open up the app, check into the show, and we'll see you guys in less than 22 hours. Mornings in the Lab, 8 o'clock live, bringing the conversation. We'll see you guys in 22 hours. Ciao.